Arlington tonight. The storylines for Giants-Cowboys. A great rivalry renewed as we wrap up Week 7 of the NFL season here in Texas. Off we go with the Monday Night Football launch, engineered by GMC. The 4-2 Giants, the 1-4 Cowboys. Hey, no, there are no shortage of disappointing big-name teams thus far in this NFL season, but Dallas takes the cake in that column. We are not hearing the talk of maybe the Cowboys would be the first team to ever play in the Super Bowl on their home field. Instead, we're hearing this history fact. The Dallas Cowboys know if they lose tonight, they go 1-5, and only one team, Cincinnati, 40 years ago, has opened 1-5 and made it to the playoffs. We asked one Cowboy this weekend, is it panic time yet? He said no, but if we lose tonight, different story. To tell the story tonight with us, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden. All right, you've watched the Cowboys as they've gotten off here to 1-4. Where are you seeing the problems, and how do they turn things around here tonight?
I'm just tired of all this gloom and doom, because when I watch the tape, it's not all that bad. I mean, Wade Phillips' 34 defense is one of the top scoring defenses in all of football. And on offense, they average over 400 yards a game. But what I like about the Cowboys is they have big-time players. And guys like DeMarcus Ware, Jay Ratliff on defense, Tony Romo, Jason Witten, Miles Austin. These are the guys that got to step up tonight and deliver a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And if the Cowboys win, they are back in business. And if that happens, Jaws, look out, because the Cowboys are still very talented.
Now, Jaws, let me flip you over to the Giants. You know, the Giants, we saw them on a Sunday night lose at Indy by 24, then come home and lose by 19 to Tennessee and say, wow, what's wrong with the Giants? They're 1-2. Well, they got back off the wall. They've won 3 in a row. How have they done that?
Well, Tom Coughlin has gone back to his core football beliefs. On offense, it's all about old-fashioned, old-school power running of the football. And why not when you have an Ahmad Bradshaw and a Brandon Jacobs? It's a good fit for what you want to do. Bradshaw has become the bell cow because of his explosive ability. The beneficiary right now is Eli Manning. When defenses are forced to bring that 8th defender down in the box, Eli has beautiful sight lines to the outside, those isolation routes, those one-on-one routes, and he has 3 young wide receivers to go to.
Well, you know, with Eli and Tony Romo, a lot of what your legacy is with these great franchises, what you do in these games. The Verizon Red Zone shows us the numbers. Eli against the Cowboys, 6-5, not including a big playoff win a few years ago. Romo as the starter against the Giants, 4-2. They go head-to-head tonight. You'll see it in HD. Our telecast from Arlington, Texas, brought to you in high definition by Verizon. The difference makers on defense, we'll talk about them in 30 seconds. Things about these franchises, the legacy and the history, and Hall of Famers Bob Lilly and Tony Dorsett accompany Jason Witten for the ceremonial coin toss before the game tonight here in Texas. Time now for the winning look presented by J.C. Penney. You know, this division over the years has had great teams, great pedigree, but also great pass rushers. You lived it playing in the NFC East. You know firsthand what it's all about, having a great pass rusher on the other side of the line.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for ruining my evening. The guy I had to face was Lawrence Taylor, arguably the most feared defender in the history of the NFL. And you always tried to get 2 guys blocking LT. Well, as you can see here, we didn't do a very good job of that. He had some clean shots on me. So now you have to account for DeMarcus Ware like you would account for Lawrence Taylor. Try to get a couple bodies on him. One-on-one blocks aren't going to get it done. He's fast. He's quick. He's powerful. Ware is an effort guy. Watch him on this play. He comes off the right side of your screen, chases the quarterback. Chubb dumps it down to Owen Daniels. Here comes DeMarcus Ware. This guy is a problem. And what the Giants are going to have to do, slide their line to him or keep a tight end in front of him or a back to chip him. They better get 2 players on DeMarcus Ware, arguably the best player on defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the New York Giant defense. Here's what I saw last year. Just watch the body language on the sidelines. It just wasn't good. Look at Justin Tuck. What went wrong? But now, Perry Fuel of the New York Giants, a new defensive coordinator, has reinstalled a new attitude in Jason Tuck. He's back. He's playing 3 different positions. He's rushing the passer. I love this song. Look at the attitude is contagious. Look at these New York Giants. They're back. I wish that was a longer segment. I love that song. You got to get rid of the ball sooner, Jaws. Lawrence Taylor got a lot of sacks for a good reason. New attitude.
I didn't know I was doing the game with Casey Kasem tonight. On with the countdown. On with the Giants and Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
You've been watching ESPN's Monday Night Football Launch, engineered by TMC, the official vehicle of Monday Night Football.
Over 40 years running, still a work of art. A game filled with glory, guts, and heart. It's as good as it gets with this rivalry. The boys and the Giants throw down and take deep. The gallery's ready, so turn up the lights. The battle lines are drawn in Dallas tonight. Ready? Come on and get ready. I mean, really ready. Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party. This is Hank and I'm ready. Let's get this picture started. Let's paint this town and do it up right. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night.
The roof is open. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, where they'll host Super Bowl 45. And the 97th meeting of the Giants and Cowboys set to kick off here on Monday Night Football. Before the game, the national 9/11 flag presented was recovered, torn, and tattered amidst the wreckage of the World Trade Center, stitched back together a couple of years ago by tornado survivors in Kansas. That flag's currently on a journey across America up to the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and many of the first responders from New York are traveling with it. Get a chance to meet some of those folks, and they're honored to take with great pride and honor that flag to represent New York and America coming back, and a man who became known as America's mayor, seeing the U.S. and New York through that time, Rudy Giuliani, here tonight. Tom Coughlin has continued to keep 9/11 in the minds and spirits of New Yorkers, wearing Fire Department of New York hats over the years as he was coaching the Giants, does it each year in memory of those lost. He goes up against Wade Phillips, and if his team wins tonight, there'll only be one back in the loss column, as things will be a lot tighter in the NFC East. The Giants have won the toss and will receive. David Beeler's going to kick to Darius Reynaud. Great atmosphere and pressure on the Cowboys. How will they respond over the next 3 hours? Off we go from Arlington. Beeler slipped as he kicked. Reynaud had to bounce to go get the bounce at the 6. And he just gets back to the 20-yard line. Special teams tackle by Danny McCray. So with a lot of the conversation today about consecutive game-started streak, here comes Eli Manning extending his 94th consecutive start. And John, a turnaround here the last 3 games, the 3 Giants wins.
Well, they're running the ball much better. Their offensive line totally healthy. Sean O'Hara is back. This is the same group that they won the Super Bowl with a couple years ago, but they're balanced. And as always, Eli Manning, heady quarterback.
Opening drive starts from the 21. And Manning, a first down throw for Akeem Nicks, hit the ground, ruled incomplete. It'll be second down. So working with Eli and this Giants offense, it's scoring 22 points a game. Ahmad Bradshaw's become the #1 back, the starter. Brandon Jacobs spells him and gives him a little power. Kevin Boss, the tight end. Nicks having a very good season. Steve Smith murdered the Cowboys last year, and John talked about it. With O'Hara back from his injury, the ankle and Achilles, you've got the starting 5 that started the Super Bowl back up front for Big Blue. And add Sean Andrews, the veteran, who's in there as an extra offensive lineman. 6th lineman here. Eli throwing for Nicks downfield. Should have been intercepted. Terrence Newman went up and had a jump ball that he didn't bring in.
Well, for the most part, Eli Manning has been very judicious with the football over this 3-game winning streak. You'll see Eli right now. Here comes the pressure. There's Sean Andrews blocking. He's an extra tackle. Give him maximum protection. But DeMarcus Ware had single coverage on the right tackle, Kareem McKenzie. He got pressure. An ill-advised throw by Eli Manning should have been intercepted.
Third down against the four-man rush. Manning throws. Intercepted. It's time. Newman's got it. Newman still on his feet. He's got a lot of room if he can get to the edge. Newman might go to the 5.
That's the turnover the Dallas Cowboys have been looking for on defense. Trips formation, and you're going to see Eli look for Steve Smith in the slot. And you're going to see a simple option route by Steve Smith. He's number 3 in the slot. It's tipped, it's intercepted, and there goes Terrence Newman. Eli Manning has had several balls tipped and intercepted this year. There's another one.
Well, that was just an inaccurate throw. That ball's got to be down when you're squeezing that tight window, John.
Just the 5th turnover for the Cowboys defense all year, and a glorious opportunity to open for Dallas with Marion Barber. There's the Umanura, Michael Boley with the tackle. Just a gain of a couple of yards. Well, the turnover story is huge for Dallas because Tony Romo emphasized with us, we haven't been given many short fields this year. And Coughlin's team turned it over, and Romo's got a shot now.
Well, the Cowboys have started every drive at an average of their minus 24-yard line. That's a long way to go. And for Dallas to start inside the Giant 5, they have to take advantage right here. They love play-action pass to these two big receivers.
Roy Williams, bottom of the screen. Miles Austin at the top. Looked at Austin, it was covered. Jason Witten's not. Touchdown, Dallas.
I've always believed that this offense must run through Jason Witten. You see Tony Romo look to the fade first on the outside. It wasn't there. He knows he's got Witten out in the flat. It looked like a blown coverage by the New York Giants. You can't leave Jason Witten all alone. Easy touchdown pass to Romo.
And Beeler adds the extra point. 30-yard interception return leads to the 4-yard touchdown. And playing with pressure, but a great start for the Cowboys, up 7. Rangers Stadium, right across that road. The other side, you have here Cowboys Stadium, Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. They'll host the World Series across the street next week and host the Super Bowl here on February 6th. And just like across the street on Friday night, the place is rocking early. Cowboys 7-0. From 3 yards deep, Reynard will take it out. And he's down to the 10. Sam Hurd. Big stop. Back to the Giants turnover.
Well, this is what Dallas has needed. It's just going to be an option route to Steve Smith. Look at Eli. He's got good protection. He sees the throw all the way. I think it just got away from him. And tip passes in between the numbers are not a good thing. But the Dallas Cowboys needed to get some turnovers tonight. That's a great start for this Cowboy defense.
And last year it was Steve Smith that tore up the Dallas defense at 16 catches for 244 yards in the 2 matchups last year. Eli Manning went to him again. He had a spot with just an errant throw.
Terrence Newman, who had the pick, left the field. Orlando Scandrick is in there at corner in the base defense as Bradshaw has to fight to get a couple of yards. Jay Ratliff right in the middle there, number 90, started it. He's been to the last couple of Pro Bowls. Big stop in the run, and it's a pass rusher as well. Does so well up there with Spears, Olshansky, the linebacking core for Dallas. Gives you DeMarcus Ware, 7 sacks, 6 coming in the last 3 games with Spencer, James, and Brooking. In the secondary, Newman had the pick. He's now out. Alan Ball, free safety, has been victimized a few times. Mike Jenkins has been called for pass interference twice in each of the last 2 games. After a Bradshaw gain of 2, a Bradshaw gain of 1. Anthony Spencer, the tackle. And as for Terrence Newman, he's getting his ribs x-rayed. So we'll keep an eye on that as the night goes on.
And that was a zone blitz off the strong side. An aggressive Cowboy defense. Early down blitzing. You saw Spencer come off the edge that time, unblocked. And Wade Phillips told us, Jaws, they are going to blitz 5 a lot tonight and try to shut down this New York Giant running game and force them into 3rd and longs where Ware can get off the ball and go get Eli Manning.
And Dallas is a team that blitzes about 50% of the time, just under 50% in blitz and pass situations. You can expect the blitz.
Play clock running down on Eli. Who throws it through the hands? Another interception. This one, Gerald Sensabaugh. I believe it was Hakeem Nicks, and the Giants receivers have not brought in the high ball tonight.
Well, in the first 5 games, the Dallas Cowboy defense only had 4 total takeaways. Right now, in the first few minutes of this game, they already have 2.
Well, it's a bunch formation over here to the left, and you see Hakeem Nicks. He's the point guy in the bunch formation. Just a simple 12-yard hook. Not a perfect throw, but I expect Nicks to snatch that ball away from his body. That's the second tip ball in traffic. Dallas Cowboys capitalize.
It's been a problem for Manning. A half dozen of his 10 interceptions have come on deflections or tips. Own team or the other. 2 possessions, both starting in the red zone for the Cowboys. Romo complete to Martellus Bennett. Down at the 12, Corey Webster with first contact. Is Dallas offense with a golden opportunity to take a 2-score lead. They total 400 yards a game exactly thus far this year. With Barber the ceremonial starter, you'll see a lot of Felix Jones as we go on. Wooden the touchdown. Williams a big start with Austin. Up front, Doug Freese, the new left tackle this year. He's graded out well. Montre Holland in tonight because Kyle Kozar is out for a couple of weeks with a right Achilles injury. Barber's the back, taking a toss. Marion Barber right to the first down marker, with Webster ushering him to the sideline.
And this is an area of the field that the Dallas Cowboys have really struggled with offensive penalties. They have killed themselves with penalties in the opponent's red zone tonight. Very important that they knock this in for a touchdown and take advantage of these 2 early turnovers in a game like this, Jaws.
Well, they have to stay out of those known passing situations. This still is an offensive line that hasn't been together for a long time consistently. A lot of changes up front. They get in those 2nd and 3rd and longs. Makes it pretty tough. Stay on schedule.
See Deion Grant. The Giants play 3 safeties with Grant in the game. Barber tries to run to the right. And ex-Cowboy Chris Canty made the tackle. Missed the game here last year. Was signed by the Giants at the start of the 09 season.
Chris Canty very active in the interior of that defensive line. They have an outstanding rotation defensively. They'll come at you with 8 different players, keep them fresh. Canty big and strong inside at 6'7", 304.
This is big for the Giants defense. You can hold them to a field goal, keep it 10-0, minimize the damage of 2 possessions starting in the red zone. Romo killed the first play, got it to this play. A Barber run, and Justin Tuck giving him nowhere to go.
That's one of the things that Tony Romo does a lot of. He uses a false snap count to see what the deployment of the Giants defense is. That time he saw a double zone, and instead of throwing it, you'll see him walk up there, yell, kill, kill, kill. It's a soft box. The safeties are out of the box. He's going to hand the ball off to Marion Barber and take his chances. That's good defense by the New York Giants. Nice job by Tuck getting off the block and making a tackle.
In that area of the field, though, John, those safeties divide where they can get in the running game real quick, and they did.
Third and goal, 5 in the pattern, through the hands of Miles Austin. If he caught it, he would have scored. And it'll be a field goal attempt for the Cowboys.
The Giants came with pressure. Romo read the pressure, knew right where to go with the football. You see Phillips on the blitz. The ball comes out. Perfect throw by Tony Romo. Miles Austin has to make that catch.
And that's a big sequence by the Giant defense. They let everybody out. 5 men free release it into the pattern. Got to make that play.
Second year out of USC, David Beeler, big leg, kickoffs last year exclusively, field goals this year, struggled early, has been kicking better of late, bangs that one through, and less than 6 minutes into the game, Wade Phillips' team, 2 turnovers and a 10-point lead. Maybe a lot of pass rush situations the way this game has started. 10 Dallas points in the first 6 minutes, but the Giants defense with Justin Tuck able to limit Dallas to a field goal and limit the damage of those early 2 Eli Manning interceptions. Well, we got the kick coverage stuff worked out. So the third Cowboy kickoff in the first 5:52. Beeler to Reynaud for the 4. And well covered again. Good directional kicking by Beeler, which was a problem the first couple of games. Danny McCray made the tackle. Eli with a couple of picks, the same way the Tennessee game started for the Giants. See if they can turn it around in this third possession when you come back. It's the Giants' second visit to the new Dallas Cowboys Stadium. The first one, the Giants open the joint up, and they beat the Cowboys 33-31. Romo intercepted 3 times. Eli threw for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lawrence Tynes, the walk-off 37-yard field goal. And after the game, the guys in the equipment room asked Eli Manning to sign their equipment room wall. And that became the story of Eli signed it kind of to rub it in, the victory. That's a common practice around the league. He was invited to do it. Word is it's since been painted over. So here they have their chance to get Eli and the Giants in the second meeting between these two teams in this beautiful new stadium.
Giants are spreading them out. They have Travis Beckham, number 47, lined out wide to Eli's left.
Pressure up the middle. And Manning's throw is caught for Akeem Nicks, and a first down. It'll be up at the 33-yard line. So that's encouraging for the Giants. No interception there. Eli was intercepted in his first 2 possessions. You know, guys, over the last 20 years, every Giant game from 1990 to 2009, they had never had 2 interceptions on the first 2 series of the game. It happened this year against Tennessee, and it happened here tonight. So the Giants fans are hoping this one turns out differently than the loss to the Titans a month ago.
With Sean Andrews back in there. Got that heavy formation the Giants do to the right of Eli Manning.
Bradshaw with Bear Pasco, the fullback, blocking. Great cutback by Bradshaw, who gets it to the 39-yard line.
I don't think a lot of people know Ahmad Bradshaw leads the NFC in rushing, but let's take a look at the injury to Terrence Newman. Bradshaw went for the tackle on an earlier interception. Hard to say exactly where Terrence got it, but the secondary is new. I just saw Alan Ball, their starting safety, move to left corner in nickel situations. You're going to see Barry Church, number 42, play a little bit of safety tonight.
They're x-raying those ribs on Newman. There's Jacobs running up the middle for a yard or so. And this is important as Keith Brooking led the charge there, Jaws. We're halfway through the first quarter. It's 10-0. Giants have to obviously not panic, stay patient. But the problems in the secondary could be a big story.
Mike, you're absolutely right. They're going to get some favorable matchups. In fact, they spread it out on the first play of this drive because they got Hakeem Nicks matched against Alan Ball. That's a mismatch when you get Nicks on a safety. You're going to get these matchups throughout the game. So the Dallas defense is going to have to tighten up. I think you'll see the Giants continue to spread them out.
It's 3rd and short. Dallas brings the pressure up the middle. Manning hit, but hung in there for Manningham, who had the first down, and they're going to give him that progress. That's very interesting. On his own volition, Manningham was trying to make the circle route and get farther up, but they gave him forward progress. I don't like that spot, but where it is, it looks like it'll be a first down.
Well, I don't like that spot either, but I really like the throw by Eli Manning right there. Nobody touches Stephen Bowen right up the middle, and it's going to be a shallow cross. Coming underneath the Manningham as you see Steve Smith working on the opposite side against Scandrick.
But once again, you've had Mario Manningham matched against a safety. Normally, that's a pretty good matchup for a wide receiver.
get the first down. Know where the first down is. Get north and south. Don't leave it up to the officials. Look for Beckham up top.
Going to challenge the spot. That's not the worst decision, although, and as you watched last night, you're thinking save your challenges for the big stuff, like touchdowns and turnovers. But Wade Phillips is trying to keep Dave Campo, the former Cowboy head coach and the secondary coach of the Cowboys, he's trying to keep Campo calm.
Dallas has challenged the previous play that the runner was down prior to making the line to gain. We'll review the play. So out on the field.
Get this reviewed here by John Parry. 6:15 left in the first. Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field. Giants given the first down. They're checking the spot. When we saw it live, Manningham caught the ball. It looked like he was trying to, he would have had the first down if he goes right down, okay? Now, it looks like he's trying to turn it upfield to get a round ball and gain more yards.
Where's the initial contact and where is the ball?
I think it's on the other
initial
side of the
contact, yeah.
Here's John Parry.
After reviewing the play stands as called. Dallas will be charged their first team timeout.
And they can't earn a third.
Let's keep an eye on number 47, Travis Beckham, in at tight end for the New York Giants. He's a tight end that the Giants will try to line up as a receiver. They're going to look to get him against a linebacker, Heath Brookings or Grady James tonight in a one-on-one situation. Here he is going to the top of the screen.
Thank you.
Just a play clock reset. There's Dave Campo.
He's intense.
Yeah. Head coach of the Cowboys 2000 through 2002.
Great guy and a heck of a coach.
Coach Giants first down at the 44-yard line. Manning throws for the tight end, Travis Beckham, the second-year guy out of Wisconsin that John was talking about. Sends the ball covering.
When you bring corners over to one side and you extend a tight end the other way, you get them one-on-one with a safety. And Beckham is running a fly pattern. Looked like Eli Manning was trying to throw a back shoulder fade. That's what Jeremy Shockey used to bring to the New York Giants, and they're hoping this young man can deliver a couple space plays for them. That one didn't look too good.
Well, that's not the matchup you'd like to get, John. You said you'd like to get Beckham on a linebacker. They got him on a safety. That favors the safety.
Manning's pass caught by Steve Smith, shy of midfield. Jaws, it was something you talked about. Jenkins had the coverage there, but Skandrick against Steve Smith, big mismatch last year.
Yeah, you know, when you look at Steve Smith, he's a very savvy slot receiver. He just knows how to get open, and he gives the quarterback a good indicator of when to throw the football. In the 2 games last year, he was targeted 26 times. He caught 16 for 244 yards. They're going to look for that matchup. Steve Smith has a favorable one against Orlando Skandrick.
Terrence Newman has come back into the game for the Cowboys at left corner here at the bottom of the screen. That's a good sign for Dallas.
And DeMarcus Ware out here on third down. Manning throws. Newman almost knocked it away. It is ruled incomplete as Hakeem Nicks went to catch it on the sideline.
They are going to have to try a double move against Terrence Newman. He was very casual in his back pedal right there and really drove that outside breaking route. Watch the veteran corner drive it, has a chance to get another interception. They're going to have to go by Newman. He is very tight in his coverage right now.
Challenge.
Yeah.
The Giants are going to challenge it. Watch, he gets control here, and the back toe drags. You can almost see across the yard line there, which I think is the 45.
New York has challenged the previous play of an incomplete pass versus a completed catch. We'll review the play.
Some of the rubber pellets coming up from underneath the field. Tom Coughlin with his first challenge of the night. The ruling on the field was incomplete. We've taken a couple of looks with the super slow-mo. Terrence Newman deflects the ball, and then Hakeem Nicks gets his hands on it. So as you look at it, you have to watch it after Nicks gains control, which is right there. Left foot is down, and the right foot drags across. There's some tighter looks at the feet. Once you see the catch, left foot is good right there. Now look for the right. You see it brush the top of the yard line mark. And the other looks that we saw, he goes to the ground and maintains possession. All right.
Give it
there.
to him.
Was that enough to say yes?
Give it to him.
All right, you want to? Here's John Parry.
After reviewing the play, the left toe was down with possession and the right toe dragged. Therefore, it is a catch. The ball will be placed at the 40.5-yard line. New York is not charged with a team timeout. First and 10.
If I coached Hakeem Nicks, I would probably challenge just because this guy can make some circus grabs. And Tom Coughlin knows that.
He also knows when to throw the challenge flag. 47% of the calls overturned when he has challenged. If you take all the coaches, it's 31 coaches who have a minimum of 30 challenges. His is the best. You know, you figure that the oldest head coach in the league would not be the technology guy, but Coughlin's got the replay figured out about every other challenge he gets right. Tom is 64. Wade Phillips, 63, the two oldest head coaches in the NFL. So it's a gain of 11, and the Giants have it at the Dallas 40. Ramon Bradshaw with a run for about 6 yards.
Well, that's great movement by this New York Giant offensive line. Pro Bowl nose tackle Jay Ratliff. Watch the movement they get at left guard and center, allowing Bradshaw to press it. Very impressive movement by the veteran O'Hara and his friends up front. That's a huge gain to put them in a 2nd and 2. That's just where the Giants want to be.
If you're going to run the football, you better block Jay Ratliff. You want to throw it, you better block DeMarcus Ware. It's that simple against this Dallas defense. Those are two dominant football players.
Manning, quick drop. Nicks, tackle missed. Hakeem Nicks inside the 10, 1st and goal. Giants on that edge, one-on-one with Newman.
Well, you'll see the missed tackle right here. Just a little quick hitch route, about 5 yards, and Terrence Newman drives it real hard. But watch a nice move. Once the ball's there, as a receiver, you sense that closure on the defensive back. Stick that foot in the ground and spin to the outside. Nicks finishes nicely with a big gain off a short pass.
First and goal, Bradshaw seeking the left. Found his own man, Dave Deal there. Ran out of room and got a couple of yards.
You know, last year the Giants scored 30 points or more in both victories against Dallas, but they were 0 for 4 in the red zone. Dallas does an excellent job with this 5 across zone coverage, and it's hard to read exactly who has help from who. It's a tough coverage to throw against. You're going to see the Giants try to run the ball with some success against these loose Cowboy red zone coverages.
Once again, the Giants come with that heavy formation where they bring in Shawn Andrews. He's at that tight end position to the right. They're loaded up to the right with blockers.
Essentially 3 tight ends right here for the Giants. They block it up, and Eli throws for Nicks. Touchdown.
Well, that cannot happen. How do you get a safety covering Hakeem Nicks in this situation? Gerald Sensabaugh is not the guy you want playing man-to-man coverage against Hakeem Nicks. This is just too easy. They load the formation with tight ends, and they're going to get a safety one-on-one with Hakeem Nicks, and Eli just waits for Nicks to turn around. That's way too easy. You need to have a cornerback covering a gifted wide receiver.
John, I don't believe they had a cornerback on the field against that formation. They had McCray in there, number 40, Sensabaugh 43, so they were loaded up with safeties.
You're right, Josh. Absolutely. Extra point added by Lawrence Times. Settling in to be a good one, huh? 7th touchdown of the year for the Giants, Hakeem Nicks. From tonight, of course, Tennessee leads that division at 5-2. Tennessee's the champion of the NFC East so far. They've defeated both of these teams and won at the Giants and at Dallas, and then they beat Philadelphia in Nashville yesterday.
Are they going to ask to be relocated?
No, you never ask into the NFC East, right?
Not normally.
I like what the Giants do here in their kickoffs. Makes it hard to find which guy you're supposed to block as Tynes boots it to a Kasi Owusu-Ansah. University, Pennsylvania. 41-yard return. There he is, Nolan Ryan. And New York fans will remember Nolan Ryan taking the great Mets team in '69 and being out of the bullpen in that group for the World Series. And now he's the president of the Texas Rangers and World Series bound off to San Francisco. Roger Staubach, part of the great quarterback legacy of the Cowboys, a Hall of Famer from 25 years ago. He is inducted. Roger the Dodger among the celebs in the house here tonight.
And both of those guys I know well, and they are very competitive. You know, I think Nolan Ryan could still throw at 90, and Roger still loved to beat you one-on-one in basketball.
Definitely two guys who could throw it, that's for sure. Felix Jones is now in at tailback. And for the 40, Romo throws to Witten. Right at midfield, the mark's going to be close to a first down.
Boy, this Perry Fuel, everybody thinks defensive coordinator Perry Fuel's one of these Tampa 2 guys, but he's going to put Antrell Roll down in the box and play some zone coverages the other way. Take a look at Witten running a shallow cross right into that zone coverage. That's a nice job by Witten sitting down between the 2 zone defenders. They use Antrell Roll in a lot of different roles, Mike.
Very good job.
Half-yard shy of the first down, and Felix Jones gets it as O.C. Umenyiora tackles him. Once again, Dallas in Giant territory for the 3rd time tonight. So it's been back to the wall for the Big Blue defense, which is giving up a decent amount of points, 19.5 so far this year. Justin Tuck and O.C. Umenyiora doing the sack duties off the edge. Canty, the former Cowboy, first time back against them. Keith Bullock's back in the lineup. Missed the last 3 of the toe injury. Goff has taken over at the middle linebacker spot. Corey Webster has done a very good job throughout the year at corner. Kenny Phillips had 2 picks in the game here against Dallas last year, and then he was hurt out for the rest of the season, and the Giants missed him. And they welcome back Bullock, who brings down Felix Jones for no gain.
Keith Bullock does a real nice job. They try to get him moving away with the misdirection, but he stays at home, reads the play. You'll see him see the misdirection, comes back, penetrates into the backfield. You want to stop the running game? Get that penetration. Bullock right on the ball.
You talk about Bullock and getting him back, Jaws. The Giants signed him. Remember, he was a stalwart with Tennessee for a decade, tore his ACL, and very late, right before camp started, he signed with the Giants. Weren't sure where they were going to use him, now settling in at the strong side backer spot, but he's missed the last 3 with the injury. Second down, Romo, always good out of the pocket. Just a hair too tall for an open Miles Austin.
Yeah, Tony Romo is one of those quarterbacks that is most dangerous when he breaks the pocket. Not necessarily running, but his eyes are always downfield, finding people. He found the open receiver, just a hair high in this one. You'll see Tony set up here, little play action. Not as pressure as left side, just a subtle little movement, but a little bit high for Miles Austin.
Now Miles got to catch it.
Yeah,
That's
I agree
2
with you.
drops for Miles Austin already. This is too big of a game. He's got to step up and make these plays.
Exciting rookie Des Bryant caught his first touchdown against Minnesota last week. He's in for Dallas. 88, bottom of the screen. Romo checks it to the vacated area to Marion Barber. He's 3 yards shy of the first down. We'll have 4th down here for Dallas.
Well, the one thing the Giants do, they come off the edge. And you look at O.C. Umenyiora and Justin Tuck, they get in the quarterback's face quickly. As a quarterback, when you plant that back foot and you feel that pressure, your tempo picks up and you want to get the ball out. You'd like to get it downfield, but you check it down quick.
If I'm the New York Giants, you see them all yelling safe, safe, safe. They are very alert for a fake in this situation.
Matt McBriar is the punter. Sit high under the scoreboard, which has not been a problem. Great dive by Danny McCray to keep it in. Remember, in the pros, it's where the man is, not the ball. And McCray established on this side of the goal line, dives in, comes up with the save. Giants will say it's a touchback. That's beautiful.
Great play.
After a quarter in Texas, 10-7 Cowboys. Oh, there.
Oh, no, Mike, it's going to go back.
Some of the names that have been a part of the Giants and Cowboys for the 96 meetings before. There's Michael Irvin doing the national radio with our friend Kevin Harlan. Michael, of course, Cowboy Hall of Famer, and Carl Banks, who works on the Giants radio broadcast. He was a part with LT of many Giants-Cowboys rivalries during the years. All set for the second quarter here in Dallas. 10-7 Cowboys lead. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski. We showed you at the end of the first quarter that play at the goal line. You have to watch very closely. Great play by Danny McCray as he tosses it back. Sam Hurd touches it. Now he doesn't touch it again, even though his toe may be on the line there. He didn't touch it a second time, and Sean Lee, the linebacker, catches it at the 1. So, Jaws, I say that's all clean and 99 yards to go.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin's going to challenge this one. He saw kind of what we saw at the end of the play, but it looks like McCray obviously kept it in bounds. I think Sam Hurd just kind of passed it on back, had his hand off the ball.
Hey, you know, the interesting
New
thing...
York has challenged the previous play. The number 40, the gunner, went out of bounds and was the first to touch the kick.
Okay, so they're challenging something different. That 40 became ineligible to touch it. It's a risky challenge because if you don't win it, you're out of challenges for the rest of the game.
After reviewing the play, number 40 was legally chucked out of bounds and was the first player to touch the kick inside the 5-yard line. New York has elected a touchback. The ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line. New York, with being correct on 2 challenges, has earned a 3rd challenge. 1st and 10, New York.
Well explained. So you don't need to add anything to that.
What I don't like, though, is if Tom Coughlin wants 5 more challenges, well, they ought to give him 5 more, Mike. He's 2 for 2. If the officials are having a rough night, that's not Tom's problem. He's converted 2 for 2 on challenges. They ought to give him as many as he wants. Well, he's right every time.
We were saying that driving over. I'm thinking last night in the Green Bay game, that's a decision that Mike McCarthy had to make. Do you challenge or not, and leave yourself without challenges for the rest of the game? And maybe that's a flaw in the system they should look at. If you go 3 for 3, I'm giving you another one. Why not? You know. In any case, Giants will get the ball with 19 yards more. Take it at the 20. Eli loaded up twice, and the 3rd time finds Steve Smith to the 39-yard line.
Holding flag, number 76. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
On Chris Snead.
Well, they ran the double move that we talked about a little earlier, John. That Terrence Newman was driving those short routes, but Newman backed off, did a real good job. Eli double pumped. And you'll see Chris Snead, number 76 here, grabbing number 97, Jason Hatcher. Pulls him off of Eli. Right on top.
You don't know? We got a couple referees back there that can see it, that's for sure.
First accepted penalty of the night. Jacobs going north and south just like a battering ram. Gain of 8 for Brandon.
Let's take a look at the last series, what young Hakeem Nicks did. Just a out route on 3rd down and 6. How about that concentration? Wow. Then it's a hitch route. He breaks a tackle and he's off to the races. And then he finds himself one-on-one with a safety. I don't know what this route was, just a fly route. This is way too easy. But Hakeem Nicks, he's had dominant performances. 3 touchdowns against Carolina. Went totally crazy against the Houston Texans. If he gets hot, Dallas could be in trouble.
Giants go 4 wide. Ramses Barton's in the game. The 2nd-year receiver. And Manning's throws. Steve Smith hanging on after a big shot by Alan Ball. What a 1st down for the Giants.
Well, Eli Manning in the pocket once again. He seems like he's settled down. He was wild early, high, but he certainly focused on Steve Smith. You'll see right here, Steve Smith settles in the hole. Nice job of understanding it's a zone coverage. Eli anticipates the throw into that void of the defense. Steve Smith goes up, takes it away.
So the Giant drive that could have started at the 1 instead gets to the 20. Then there's 1st and 20 from the 10 after the holding flag. But they get out of the hole with a run and a pass, and now Jacobs. Just a yard shy of the 1st down at the 40.
You know, Brandon Jacobs is a powerful big back. We know that. But I like what they're doing with this fullback, Bear Pasco, who has replaced Madison Hedgecock. He allows the New York Giants to keep their normal two-back system in place while Hitchcock is on the mend. And Bear Pasco has really done an excellent job playing fullback, tight end, 3 different positions for this Giant offense. That's a nice isolation block.
Yeah, he destroyed Keith Brooking on that play.
Pasco leading the way again for Jacobs, who lost the football. Is this a 3rd Giant turnover? Yes, the Cowboys recover. Brady James comes up with the recovery. Dallas had 4 forced turnovers in 5 games. They have 3 in 17 minutes and 40 seconds.
Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. The Miller Lite aluminum pint for more ounces of that great Pilsner taste. Campbell's, it's amazing what soup can do. And new Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. Turn shaving into gliding and skeptics into believers.
To bring a Statue of Liberty over, standing right midfield there. As long as you work around the massive scoreboard and fit here. In Arlington, where they'll have the Super Bowl and have the NBA All-Star game last year. Boy, the Giants and their turnovers. Been a problem for the Giants this year. It's 19 turnovers for the Giants offense this year. 3 in the first quarter plus. 3rd possession starting in Giant territory. Romo hit as he throws. Austin the catch in front of Terrell Thomas. Romo is hurt. Michael Boley got a clean shot on Romo, and he is down.
Well, Michael Boley was untouched. Romo showed the courage to stay in the pocket, deliver the ball, but he took a shot from Michael Boley. You'll see it here. Number 59 comes clean and drives Romo into the ground. That's usually the shoulder.
Yep, and he immediately grabs for that non-throwing shoulder to the left shoulder. Painful. John Kitten is their backup. Injury timeout in Dallas. About 30 seconds ago, Tony Romo walking off after taking that shot to the left shoulder. They look at him on the sideline. Jerry Jones, owner, president, general manager of the Cowboys, watches with great concern. John Kitna, who has not played it down since week 4 of the 08 season, immediately throws an incompletion, knocked down by Barry Cofield. Let's go back to the Romo injury.
Well, take a look at Chris Gronkowski. Before you release, you have to check your assignment in pass protection. And here Gronkowski takes his eyes off Boley. That's just an assignment breakdown all the way, and Romo paid for it. You just got to hope he's okay. But if you're a young back, you have to know exactly who to block and never take your eyes off these veteran linebackers. There's Skip Pete giving him an earful.
Deservedly so.
So with Kitna under center, it's Felix Jones who gets back to the line of scrimmage a little bit more. Again, John Kitna, veteran, been around the league a long time. He's 38 years old. It's his 14th year in the league. He was in Detroit, played 4 games in the 08 season, then didn't play the rest of the year. They put him on IR. There was some question around that. Came here to Dallas as the backup last year. Romo took every snap last year and every snap thus far this year. So Kitna has not seen live action in almost exactly 2 full years, other than preseason.
And the Giants have their NASCAR package out there. Look at these 4 defensive linemen, pure pass rushers.
Third and 9. A Kitna throws, caught by Des Bryant on the edge. Thomas couldn't lasso him. Bryant cannot get to the first down as the Giants were able to bring him down to the 23-yard line. Just a minute ago, Tony Romo was asking his way back in. Hang on, wait a minute. We're going to get you checked out here. Not going to blow the season because you want to get back in right now. They want to give Romo the full medical check before they put him back in the game.
Well, remember Matthew Stafford when he separated his shoulder last year and he went back in and threw a game-winning touchdown pass, showed his courage and toughness, and no one's going to question Romo's toughness. This guy's a warrior.
That was the Detroit game against Cleveland.
Correct.
In Detroit. 4th down. Beeler will come in for the field goal. Good from 26, now from 41. The Cowboys have had 3 possessions start in Giants territory. And it's not bad for the Giants. Only have 13 points given up out of it. 6-point lead. For the 5th time this year, the Giants knock out a quarterback. This time it's Tony Romo. Back at Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington, and our aerial coverage is brought to you by Autotrader.com. You look in from the east end of the stadium, and with those open ends to the stadium, there is wind blowing in from right to left as you watch. They've taken Tony Romo in for x-rays on his shoulder. As soon as we have more, we'll let you know. David Beeler kicking off for Dallas. Darius Renard going to take a knee. We'll take you for a Sports Center right now to Trey Wingo.
Michael, thank you. Injuries to quarterbacks a concern in Arlington, also in Minnesota. Brett Favre has 2 fractures in his left ankle. Brad Childress says surgery is not required. Still not sure if he's going to be able to make his 292nd consecutive regular season start Sunday. And Reggie Bush says he's going to try and practice on his healing right leg Wednesday. Hopes to play against the Steelers Sunday night. Michael, back to you.
Hey, Trey, thank you. It's become the story of survival the first half of this NFL season with all the injuries. Well, the Giant offense has not had a first good third of the game, if you will. We're 20 minutes through here in 10 seconds, and they've given it up 3 times. Jacobs fumbled last time. Bradshaw's the back, and we have a flag.
False start. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, the Giants have had some success running the football, averaging about 4.5 yards a carry because they've been blocking the nose guard, Jay Ratliff, and he is tough to move. But you'll see the double team is effective. Push Ratliff into the linebackers. Again, you see Smee, you see McKenzie pushing him off, not giving any space to operate in. Once again, the double team moving him back into the linebacker. Right now, this veteran offensive line, the New York Giants, has been very good at controlling Jay Ratliff because he is a problem in the running game.
First and 15. Play action. Loading up for Nix. Double coverage. Good job coming over the top by Mike Jenkins, who has been called for pass interference a couple of times in the last couple of games.
That's a big-time play by Mike Jenkins. And Eli Manning is taking a shot here. Full play action pass and out of the fake. You're going to see Nix run a post route. Watch Jenkins squeeze it and time this jump perfectly. Nice play by the young corner who struggled the last couple weeks. They need him to regain his confidence. He's a big-time playmaker last year for Dallas. Had 5 interceptions. Saw him in a Pro Bowl a year ago.
Well, you know that position, John. If you're not playing with confidence, tough to play out there in that island. Looks like he's got it back tonight.
Gun run Bradshaw. Bradshaw gains 8 yards. I want to give you a few seconds here on the Giants running backs. From the very first snap of training camp up in Albany, the state capital where the Giants train, Bradshaw got the first rep, then Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs had been the starter. He thought he was going to be the starter again, but Bradshaw kept getting the first reps. They kept starting the preseason games. Jacobs didn't get it. Finally, it all built up the frustration. We saw Jacobs end up with his helmet in the stands in Indianapolis. He's got the message. Bradshaw's the one. He's back to his role of a few years ago, Jacobs. And the last 3 games, it's worked much better.
Well, he's in the doghouse now after that fumble.
Third and 6. Cowboys bring a half dozen. Eli's pass is incomplete. Had to get rid of it because of the heat. Mike Jenkins also coming in, or Scandrick. And it'll be 4th down.
It was all about the pressure. Eli did not have a chance to let the play develop. You'll see the overload to the right, and you get Scandrick in clean. Eli just had to unload the ball, couldn't wait for the play to develop down the field, tried to anticipate the throw, never had a chance. Good design of the blitz by the Dallas Cowboys.
Matt Dodges has a problem catching snaps. He's the rookie punter, has a glove on his left hand to help him catch the ball tonight. He's got a rocket for a leg and just unloaded. Sent Des Bryant all the way back to the 10. Now he's got a head of steam. Des Bryant took one back against Chicago. Takes one back against the Giants. Touchdown, Cowboys. 88-yard return.
And Matt Dodds just can't win. He makes a great punt, and this is all rookie Dez Bryant. And you can see why they gave him number 88. Big and fast and an explosive playmaker. Joe DeCamillis, the special teams coach, is loving that.
Special teams has been a problem in coverage for the Cowboys, but the return game excited by Bryant, who brought it back 62 yards against the Bears in week 2. Now 2 punt return touchdowns this year. Cowboy Stadium been rocking all during the timeout. They just saw the 3rd longest punt return in Dallas Cowboy history. 88 for 88, the rookie Dez Bryant out of Oklahoma State.
He is a natural. Got that Michael Irvin smile as well. I'll be smiling too after that return.
21 years old. Wow.
Steelers kickoffs have been deeper tonight. Renaud, second fair catch. Well, you mentioned Dez Bryant did slide down in the draft because he missed time at the end of his last season at Oklahoma State. People question things about him, which we'll get to in a second. But watches a great ability, John, which has so many people in Dallas excited.
Well, there's certain guys you walk out on the field and you just say he's better than everybody else. As a receiver, you can't play off of this kid. You can't press him. And when he is covered, he goes up and makes the catch anyways. And do not kick the ball to this guy under any circumstances. He might be as good a punt returner as there is in a league. And I'm talking about Devin Hester up in Chicago. Irvin loves this kid.
Michael, who wore 88 famously after Drew Pearson honored the number here in Dallas from shy of the 20 after Jacobs with a run. Brandon gets about 5 yards to talk about. Good, John.
Well, speaking of Michael Irvin, how about this guy, number 88? You know, he got 88 from Drew Pearson. And the playmaker, he haunted a lot of people in this league, including you and me, Jaws. But to have another young guy like Dez Bryant to take the torch from Drew Pearson to Michael Irvin and now to Dez Bryant, the Cowboys have that thing going for them. The legacy of number 88.
What a tradition.
Jacobs in 2nd and 5. With 3 yards to 28. Third, a couple coming up.
And now the Giants trying to calm this down. You know, they're a power running football team. They want to get that supremacy and being physical going again right now. They don't want this to get out of hand. They're going to run it.
I like what Tom Coughlin did there. Right after Jacobs fumbled the football, he goes right back to his big back, gives him back-to-back carries. Tom Coughlin is a player's coach a lot more than people think, Jaws.
Downfield to chase him down.
Really nice job by the Giants offense and play calling. Ran a little Zin motion, that Z into the left side, softened up the defense on 3rd and short, and get a guy that's excellent in space, Ahmad Bradshaw. You get him in space, he sets the edge, gets the first down. Nice play call, nice design. The execution was perfect.
They call these backs earth, wind, and fire. He must be wind, because I don't know which way Bradshaw's going. He is quick.
Play action with Jacobs, who helped keep Ware out of the backfield. Steve Smith went up and made a terrific catch just shy of the 30-yard line. What a grab. And Newman slow to get up.
Well, this is a shot play. The New York Giants are going to go play action. They're going to run a route by Steve Smith. Basically, he's going over the top. Sticks to the outside, goes to the post, and goes up and takes the football away. Steve Smith just seems to save his best for the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Giants doing a great job mixing personnel, using offensive lineman Sean Andrews as a tight end. That time, the play action pass fooled the Cowboys.
Landing slant from Manningham is a pass interference flag coming on Jenkins. It'll be his 5th in the last 2.5 games.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21, playing through the back of the receiver. Automatic first down.
You can't fault this young guy, Jenkins. He's playing aggressive. He did get there a little bit early. He's had an interception in the football game. He's gone up high to defend a pass. Mike Jenkins is going to be around the ball, and he's going to be involved in tight coverage. But he's just got to time his breaks a little bit better. Good call by the official.
First penalty against the Cowboys, who've been penalized nearly 10 times a game this year. Jacobs banging and pushing through the hole, dragging Keith Brooking inside the 20-yard line.
Jacobs at 6'4", 264 pounds, deep in the aisle. He gets that momentum going downhill, that mass going downhill. He just bowls over people.
Including Mike Jenkins, who got shaken up here.
Well, you're going to get shaken up, too, when you stick your head in there on Brandon Jacobs.
We've already seen Terrence Newman leave the game for a bit with a rib x-ray, and now they look at Mike Jenkins, who took the brunt of that hit by Brandon Jacobs.
But that's what they do with Brandon Jacobs. The New York Giants will hand the ball to this big back. They decide we're not even going to block the corner. We're going to use everybody to block the interior of your defense and let this big back run over your corner. And that's what happened right there between Jenkins and Jacobs.
We'll see how they split tonight. Dead down the middle. More carries this year and yards for Bradshaw as Jacobs spent his first stretch in the doghouse there, as we talked about earlier, coming out of the preseason.
The average is key, though, Mike, averaging 5 yards a carry now. They're starting to, you know, Tom Coughlin's about being physical. You know, he wants to run the football. They're starting to establish that now. Once they get that going, you force the Cowboys to bring that safety down to the box, and then you go with those shot plays, those plays that will feature the big explosive plays.
Oh, Jenkins out. Orlando Scandrick comes into the game as the corner. He'll be at the bottom of the screen. And if he gets a chance, Eli's going to work down here to Nix.
So Bradshaw out here flanking Nix. Ahmad takes the hitch. Bradshaw inside the 10. Rolls on James, so he'll get all the yardage down to the 8.
Yeah, you see that offensive line of the New York Giants getting out in front of this play. And it's like an old Arena Football League play. You get your offensive lineman out of that quick screen, and they just knock people to the outside. You see the block by Nix on Scandrick. Look at Seibert. What a terrific block in space. These are difficult blocks. Seibert, 310 pounds. What an athletic block.
Put that on a highlight clinic reel.
First and goal for all the miscues and mistakes by the Giants. Touchdown here, and they're only down by 6.
Looks juicy down below.
Manning looked that way, throws that way for Nix. They are marking him in on the far side. Touchdown. The other official coming from the top says touchdown. The side judge didn't say anything, but it is a Giant touchdown, and they're within 7 pending the point.
Now listen what the Giants do. They're going to set up those isolation routes with formation variation.
And clearly in the end zone there, you can see why the side judge on the near side didn't call it. He couldn't see through Scandrick and Nix. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, when you get Scandrick man-to-man with a lot of space for Hakeem Nix, tough for any corner to take care of that big fella out there in space. Eli saw it, went to it. Somewhat of a routine touchdown.
A bevy of big plays tonight. It is the second touchdown for Nix tonight, his 8th on the year, and the Cowboys lead is down to 20-14.
Here's what Eli Manning does for you. He is such a heady quarterback. He can change the play in a split second. Eli Manning is going to motion the back out of the backfield. Take a look at it. And the defense is going to react to the motion and show him a blitz with man-to-man coverage. Watch Bradshaw get reset. Eli reads the blitz. He sees the one-on-one coverage, and he says, hey, let's change the protection. I have my friend Hakeem Nix down here one-on-one, and he will assault you that way. And Nix is going to beat Scandrick every time, Ron. If Eli Manning can use the snap count to get the information that he needs, he's going to drive the Dallas Cowboys out of any man-to-man coverage.
And this is what Eli is so good at. Once he gets at isolation round, Scandrick even jumped inside on Nix and couldn't defend the play. Isolation routes, one-on-one. Eli does a great job of decoding the defense.
And you see on our max zoom that it looks right down the goal line, the end line there, 32 different cameras stitching the imaging together. You can clearly see broke the plane. So guys, for Akeem Nix, take a big picture back here. Dave Campbell ripping through those pictures. And where's the one that says, how in the world do you guard that guy Nix, who has 8 touchdowns this year, tied with Antonio Gates in San Diego for the most total touchdowns in the NFL through week 7 here. Ocasio Osuansa couldn't put a fork in it, and it's a touchdown.
You don't cover Nix with Gerald Sensabaugh or Orlando Scandrick.
Okay,
Let's
let me write down. Is that tonight's coaching tip? Thank you.
That's what Super Bowl coaches, that's the information you get.
Yeah.
And if you're just hopping in here, we've had a lot of plays happen in the last few minutes. The punt return by Dez Bryant for the touchdown after a Giants drive, and then the Giants long drive. Tony Romo was hurt on the last full offensive series the Cowboys had, injuring his left shoulder, back getting looked at in the locker room. It was a big shot from Mike Boley, the linebacker. So John Kitna, the 38-year-old, with his first full series. And he hands to Marion Barber, who doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Goff, the tackle.
And the New York Giant defense has got to be scratching their head. They've given up 20 points, but only 55 total yards. They haven't been on the field very much, but when they've been out there, Ron, they've done an excellent job of getting off the field. Perry Fuel has brought a lot of energy to this Giant defense. They love playing for him. They really have taken ownership of this defense under his direction.
Shy of the 20, Kitna under siege. Throws incomplete for the fullback Gronkowski.
Well, Perry Fuel dialed up the pressure here. You'll see the linebackers come. You'll see on the outside edge right there. You have number 59, Michael Boley. On the other side, the quick pressure from Osi Umenyiora, and pressure up the middle. Nowhere to go. Watch Osi one-on-one with Doug Free. Beats him quickly to the outside. A quarterback with that kind of pressure, you just got to load the football, avoid the sack.
Giants give you a lot of looks on third down. Watch Jason Tuck. He's walking all over. He's the rover.
3rd and 10, 5 coming after Kitna. Got hit by Deion Grant, who they signed this year. And the Giants defense keeping them right in this game.
Well, Perry Fuel understands you now have John Kitna as your quarterback. Very little movement from John Kitna, and the pressure will now come. You see the 3 down linemen, but look at the linebackers. They all blitz, so you're bringing 6. Not enough to pick up the 6. Only 5 blockers for the Dallas Cowboys. Kitna has nowhere to go with the football. Giants pass rush heating up right now.
Matt McBriar kicks the ring off. Just under the scoreboard, hanging up top. 53-yard punt. Right now from the 37 is brought down at the 44 by Sean Lee. Well, those of you just joining us, it has been a very eventful first 2 quarters here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Tony Romo knocked out of the game, throwing only 7 passes. One of them 4 touchdowns. The Giants turned it over their first 2 possessions. Dallas took over in the red zone, got a touchdown and a field goal out of it, but Michael Boley's hit knocked Romo back to the locker room to get that non-throwing shoulder looked at. On through the sports bar area here. That is the walkway from the Cowboys bench at midfield to their locker room. Now Eli Manning and the Giants have a chance to take the lead on this drive. More of a player's coach than might appear when you watch him on TV. There's a steadiness about Tom Coughlin, who's seen it all in his years as coach, and his team plays that way so often, and a little example of that in the first half.
No question. They're a very close team, these New York Giants. Right guard Chris Snee, he's married to Tom Coughlin's daughter. These guys have been together a long time. They've had great continuity on their staff and on their team.
Bradshaw up the middle for a first down at the 44. 4-yard line. I love when we sat with Chris Snee last night.
I knew this was coming.
And you asked him about how weird is that? I mean, the guy you're next to there, he's married to, you know, your daughter. And then he said, well, you know, he invites me over for Christmas dinner, and I walk in, and the coach is there.
Yeah.
You know? Hi, Tom. How are you?
Nobody wants to go to the Snee's house for Christmas dinner. Kind of a fun plug there.
On the ground, the Giants reestablishing in this game. And Bradshaw into the clear. About Bradshaw, the back's going to be marked for 22. It's a gain of 22.
Well, speaking of Chris Snee, your Pro Bowl right guard, here's 97 power, run to perfection. They love to pull this right guard. Take a look at Snee. They're going to get a double team at the point of attack, and Bradshaw's going to follow Snee right up the alley. Steve Smith gets an excellent block on Jenkins. That's a big play.
2-minute warning in Arlington. Cowboys have had everything go their way, but the Giants are on their way to retaking the lead. At the 2-minute warning, hard to say in a game where you've turned it over 3 times and given up what has now officially been credited a 93-yard punt return for touchdown. It's hard to say that you're dominating the game. But the Giants, in terms of yards and moving the ball, are 231 yards to 46 for the Cowboys. Giants trying to drive and take the lead with all 3 timeouts inside the 2-minute. Bradshaw stopped, took over that vacated area and got within a yard of the first down.
Well, Eli Manning is just killing Dallas with his pre-snap work, Jaws. He's using these dummy snap counts. He knows the Cowboys are in 2 deep coverages, and he continues to hand the ball to Ahmad Bradshaw. He walks up there, he sees a soft box, and he says, hey, let's give it to Bradshaw. And this guy is a lightning rod. Very quick and hard to find. Bradshaw's running hard.
I'd like to see Anthony Spencer play the run one time. Every time he comes off the ball, he's jetting right upfield and running right underneath him.
Pressure on Manning, who throws it up for Steve Smith. He's got it. Giant touchdown.
Eli Manning's on fire. He read that all-out blitz, saw it from the very beginning and knew exactly where to go. There's the matchup you wanted all night, Jaws. Steve Smith versus Orlando Scandrick. But Eli read it easy, showed great poise in the pocket, and delivered a strike.
Very reminiscent of his touchdown pass in the Super Bowl to Plaxico Burress. The all-out blitz by the Patriots. Right there, the Cowboys came with an all-out blitz. Ran just a quick little stick to the inside, and Eli just threw it over the top.
Back up Sage Rosenfeld, the new holder for Lawrence Tynes. And the Giants take the lead. And we speak of the steadiness of Tom Coughlin. Same is true of the unruffled Eli Manning. 2 picks the first 2 drives, comes back and throws 3 touchdown passes.
These guys have been at it a long time, but it's an all-out blitz. They're coming after Eli, and he just stands in there and trusts his veterans to pick this up. He knew he had one guy to beat, and he just made a fadeaway throw right there, Josh. Watch him turn his body as he throws this football. That's a no-look pass that is really hard to do.
No one in the middle of the field, you can do that. That's the anticipation you have to have. And I love the fact that Eli threw from a unique platform. You're not always going to get that pretty cushion in the pocket and step, deliver the ball, pressure in his face, kind of flicked it a little sidearm, put some air under it, and let his receiver, Steve Smith, go get it.
I call these guys Jet Blue after the airlines. You know, when you have guys like Steve Smith and Hakeem Nicks, and we haven't even talked about Manningham yet, Mike. These are 3 of the best young receivers in football. You like that nickname, guys? Jet Blue? Look at Steve
we like
Smith.
it, John.
5 for 75. Hakeem already has 5 for 63 and 2 scores. And don't forget about my friend Manningham. He's fast, and he's averaging over 16 yards a catch. But, hey, these 3 young guys have really come to life with Eli Manning in the last year.
You know, the Jets and Giants play in the same stadium. Is that the whole thing you're working on there? It's terrific. That's great. Kwasi Osuansa, no kick return. Dallas takes over at the 20. We have a Toyota halftime show coming up with Chris Berman, Chris Mortensen, Adam Schefter. Boomer takes you through yesterday's best stuff with the fastest 3 minutes. Things do not sound promising regarding the ankle injury with Brett Favre. Morton, Adam dive into that. An update on Reggie Bush and his status going forward, as we saw him knocked out when we were in San Francisco for the Monday Nighter Week 2. See if Reggie comes back for the Steelers on Sunday night. Meantime, with all of this, there's been really no word from the Cowboys officially other than Romo having the left shoulder checked. And they continue to be very quiet about any progress updates with Romo as Kittner remains in. He has not come back out, Tony. Felix Jones with Roy Williams blocking on the edge and a 17-yard aggressive tackle by Terrell Thomas. Dallas will take a timeout.
What a tackle by Terrell Thomas. Fought off the block, and here's Felix Jones. He has outstanding speed. Here it goes inside, but if the speed gets him to the outside, he turns on the jets right there. But Terrell Thomas, that's an outstanding form tackle right there. Wrap him up, bring your arms, and drive him into the ground.
Wow, that's lock, lift, and drive right there. You don't see many corners getting that type of a tackle in the open field. Nice play, Terrell. New York Giants are very proactive on defense in the 2-minute drill under Perry Fuel. These players have the freedom to automatic to a stunt. They can automatic to a blitz. They have a lot of freedom to make calls based on backfield sets. Keep an eye on this New York Giant communication. They love the blitz at clock stoppages.
Ball start. Number 82, offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
On Jason Witten, you know, you think of John Kittner in there, guys, and we talked about his veteran experience, how it's been 2 years since he's taken a snap in a meaningful game. He's got a long pedigree of playing. Go back to Seattle. He was an undrafted player when the Seahawks signed him. He had 4 years as a starter there, essentially. In Cincinnati, beat out Scott Mitchell for a stretch, and he got the seat warm and ready before Carson Palmer took over after a year to watch. It's a guy who's been through a lot in the league, but it's been a while. Felix Jones and Terrell Roll brings him down to the 39-yard line.
But Mike, specifically out of practice, I watched John Kittner because we've been seeing a lot of quarterbacks go down as of late. Starters and backups are playing. And the one thing I noticed, he still has the good, strong arm. A live arm. He can still spin it.
Witten's got it to the 44. The ball came out. Deion Grant recovered it, but you heard a whistle there to call the play dead as Grant returns it into Cowboy territory. You heard the whistle. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not a fumble. Clock stopped here at 29 seconds, and both coaches want to take a timeout. Coughlin wants a timeout to make sure they look at this. As Witten was fighting for yards, very close to see if the ball came out. In the last 2 minutes, all replays handled upstairs, and that ball's coming out before any body part is down.
Well, that ball is clearly out. The Cowboys might regret taking a timeout here.
Well, the Giants did. Both were calling timeouts, and Coughlin was doing it for the express purpose of trying to get a forced review upstairs. The whistle did blow the play dead.
The whistle blew. Just the ball was coming out.
If down by contact, and remember the controversy yesterday with Pittsburgh and Miami not having clear recovery via replay, so that could not have been given to Miami, even though Channing Crowder of the Dolphins came out of the pile with it. In this case, and Miami fans, you see the rule, the other side of it, you do have a clear recovery by the Giants' Deion Grant.
But there's Tom Coughlin. He's assuming he's going to get the ball back, and he's talking to Eli Manning, previewing the situation. Hey, Eli, we have 29 seconds. We have 3 timeouts left, 2 timeouts left now. We have plenty of time to get into reasonable field goal position. Tom Coughlin thinks he's won this challenge.
Yeah, Eli's over there's got a helmet on. He's ready to go.
Well, the Giants' entire offense is out there, save Eli, in ready-to-go position here.
But just minutes ago, this was a 20-7 game. Des Bryant is dancing in the end zone, and all of a sudden, it is deathly quiet in here, Jaws.
The NFL adjusted this rule back in 2006, guys. Previously, a fumble was not reviewable if the ball carrier was ruled down by contact, but that has been changed. Meantime, as they look at that, we have word that Tony Romo's injury is a fractured left clavicle, and he will not return, obviously. Fractured left clavicle, that's the injury report just from the Cowboys on Tony Romo. So that is as bad as you can expect news-wise for Dallas fans. Here's the hit. Michael Boley with it.
Well, it's just an unblocked blitz. The Cowboys blow a protection. Young fullback Chris Gronkowski didn't see his linebacker, and Romo paid a price for it. This is a crushing blow to the Dallas Cowboys.
Awful, awful injury.
Short and long term. Now, if the Giants are awarded the ball here, back to this at the moment situation, they'll be awarded the ball at the spot where Deion Grant recovers. Because it's down by contact, you get the ball at the spot of the recovery of the
After
fumble.
reviewing the play, the ball did come loose. It is a fumble. New York did recover the ball. Therefore, it will be 1st and 10. New York is not charged with the timeout since the clock would have stopped prior to the timeout.
So, John, so they do get the 3 timeouts. They get the 3rd one back because, as he said, giving the ball up, it's a change of possession. So, as you said, John, about 20 minutes ago, things could not have been better for the Cowboys, and how they have spiraled. And this 1-4 Cowboys season is really on the ropes now.
And the Giants, with Eli Manning, this experienced offense, I'm sure are going to call 2 plays in the huddle. And Eli's going to use that dummy snap count, Ron, and he's going to get a good look at the secondary. You see Jenkins back in at one corner. Newman is back in at the other. Don't be surprised if they hand the ball once to Ahmad Bradshaw, who's been very effective running the football. They've run the ball for over 100 yards already.
Yeah, I think, you get in field goal position first, and then you take your shots.
So the same type of situation as we had, as we mentioned, with the Pittsburgh-Miami play, except the clear recovery via replay does allow the Giants to get the ball and a chance to add to their lead as Manning is hit as he throws sideline. Manningham able to catch it at the 31.
Boy, what a combination. Eli Manning under duress, anticipated, had to throw this ball early. So he took something off it, and look at the toe dance by Manningham on the sideline. Just terrific.
From the 31, Cowboys running around. With timeouts, they can run. Bradshaw only gains 2 yards. Giants will take a timeout with 25 seconds remaining. Well, the big news continues here. You know, Tony Romo is a guy who grew up idolizing Brett Favre growing up in Wisconsin. Romo gets hurt here. We saw last night Brett Favre getting injured at Lambeau against the Packers. Stayed in the game. Nearly had a great comeback. Percy Harvin couldn't keep it in the back of the end zone. And when you see something happen like this to Romo, you're reminded of how amazing Favre's streak has been, and will it continue is now the next question.
Yeah, this looked very bad. You know, Favre was struggling, you know, after that hit. You see coming off the field after the game. You know, for one of the few times you see Brett Favre, he looked wounded. Normally this guy's a warrior. He didn't look right to me. And I've been watching for 20 years, so something may be up.
Yeah, and Adam and Mort will have more coming up with Chris Berman here at halftime.
Yeah, he's a 41-year-old quarterback, and I agree. The look in his eye, the comments that he made I'd never seen or heard before. I think Brett Favre's going to be idle for a while.
Well, the more from the guys coming up here on the Toyota Halftime Show, and certainly throughout the week as Minnesota gets set to play New England. 2nd and 8. Giants have 2 timeouts. Eli throws to Steve Smith, inbounds. Giants will take another timeout when the ball caught at the 25 and 18 seconds remaining.
The New York Giants love trips formation. And if you just study them carefully, they love to isolate Hakeem Nicks on the backside. And when it's double zone, they're going to work Steve Smith in the slot. And when the safeties are back here together, Eli just says they're doubling Nicks up top. I'm going to throw the ball to Steve Smith all night long. And they have done an unbelievable job with this package over the years. There's the master of the trips formation, Eli Manning. Don't be surprised if they load the formation again with 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Here they come again. And if they single up Nicks down here, Mike Jenkins is going to get a workout.
Well, that cover 2 last year, it was Steve Smith going down the hole for the touchdown.
Eli Manning's never had 4 touchdown passes in a half. He has 3 here. He would have had 4 if he could have found Steve Smith, who had a step on Newman, but Eli overshoots him a bit, and the Giants will have a 42 or 3-yard field goal attempt coming.
You know, I love the play because they took their shot. They worked the ball down in the field goal range. They got Steve Smith. They actually got over the top of Terrence Newman, but Eli just put a little bit too much air under it.
The Giants really did an excellent job in pass protection. They have done a nice job with DeMarcus Ware in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't mentioned Jay Ratliff or DeMarcus Ware, and those guys dominate football games.
Tynes didn't kick last week, ankle injury, and almost was blocked. It was slow getting up, but a penalty marker's down after the kick. A hold against the Giants. John Parry's getting a frustrated Coughlin back to his spot.
Holding, number 57, 10-yard penalty, and we'll re-kick, 4th down.
Well, that's a penalty you don't see very often. And Chase Blackburn can't believe it either.
Dallas had a good rush up the middle and off the edge as well. I mentioned Tynes did not kick last week. He had a sprained ankle. Shane Graham came in and kicked 4 extra points. And then Graham was released as Tynes was good to go. This will be now from 53 yards.
Wow.
Buries it down the middle. Lawrence Tynes, good from 53. Big kick by a guy who's made a few big kicks, including that 47-yarder at Lambeau on that freezing cold day where the Giants won the NFC Championship on their way to winning the Super Bowl. So Eli's team up 24-20, and we will see Peyton's team next Monday night in Indianapolis as the Houston Texans come calling on the Colts. Arian Foster and his good rushing attack with Houston coming up on Monday Night Football next week. On our Monday Night Football bus, John, you had a chance to visit with Eli and ask him a very interesting question.
Which of these quarterbacks should I take? I got this guy right here, Eli Manning, or would I take this guy here, Peyton Manning? Which one of these guys do I want?
Well, I think you got 2 pretty good choices, but I think you go with me, Coach. You know, Peyton's he's getting up there. He's getting up there in age. He's a good player. You know, he's still playing at a high level and playing great. But I got you. You know, I'm happy.
I'll
take care of you.
He's getting up there a little, huh?
Oh, man, you got a younger brother. Look at this guy. I mean, you would never know. He threw 2 interceptions. Right. A lot of guys become basket cases like me. He just stands in there.
Amnesia, you have to have it as a quarterback. That's an attribute.
Well, Tynes' 53-yard field goal was the longest of his career. Kept the ball inbounds there as we go to the half. 17 points in the last 4:20 of the second quarter has given the Giants a 24-20 lead. We run through the sports bar for the Toyota Halftime Show and Boomer. Complexion of the game and the pressure on the Cowboys has changed in perspective with the injury that will knock Tony Romo out of the game, plus a left clavicle injury for Tony Romo, and here he is on the sideline trying to rally the Cowboys here as we get started for the third quarter. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden. During half, I got on the phone with someone who's one of the best respected orthopedic people in the country, and she was able to tell me that the clavicle injury that Romo has, what we'll need to hear as we hear tomorrow after the game is where it happened. The closer to the shoulder is, the less injury time healedness, the more it is up this way away from the shoulder that you're talking maybe it has to be plated and a longer. Jaws, this is an injury similar to one you had during your playing days.
Yeah, and again, it's the extreme. You know, I had it way back in my second year in the NFL, and I recovered from it, but it's a tough injury to come back from. However, I'm excited for John Kitna. You know, if he embraces this opportunity, what he does becomes legendary. This is the most talent this guy's ever had a chance to play with, and he's not, you know, mopping up. He's not the starting quarterback for the Cowboys.
Third quarter underway. Des Bryant went back to get the kick, and he took it from about 8 yards deep, faked a reverse, and didn't even bring it out to the 10. There's more on Romo with Susie Culver.
And Mike, most of Tony Romo's teammates didn't know that he had suffered a fractured clavicle until they went in at halftime. Wade Phillips told me his message was simple. We have to be ready to play. We know Jon Kitna is ready to play. And I asked Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, what is the mood of the team now? He said the mood now is go get it. They are ready to go.
All right, Suze, thank you. There is the injury that happened in the first half. Michael Boley hitting him, clean shot, untouched as he came through the middle. Romo over there now getting fitted with an earpiece so he can listen to the plays being sent in to the 38-year-old Jon Kitna. Felix Jones is the back. After the failed fake attempt from the 10, the pass by Kitna is deflected by Justin Tuck and incomplete.
Once again, in the Cowboys' first half, they had 3 critical errors. Critical, Ron. And the first one, Chris Gronkowski just blows a pickup, and Boley comes through clean and knocks Tony Romo out. The second one, the Cowboys can't get lined up. They don't have the proper personnel on the field, and Eli Manning sees Hakeem Nicks one-on-one with a safety. Gerald Sensabaugh. That cannot happen. And then the third one, right before the end of the half, Pro Bowl tight end Jason Witten fumbles the football. Giants capitalize.
Felix Jones with a run. Very little offense for Dallas here. Just a gain of a couple of yards with Umenyiora and Boley making the tackle.
You know, Mike, now it's on the other players. Not only the quarterback, Jon Kitna. Now it's time for the other players to pick up their game. Their leader is now out. Who knows for how long. But now it's the guys up front. When you look at them, the Doug Freeze, the Montre Holland, you know, the Andrew Garrard. These guys got to start picking it up and playing. They got to start running the ball better. Receivers got to make plays. It's not only about the quarterback.
Well, they better convert a third down because they haven't tonight.
It's the 4-man rush. Kitna lofting for Witten. Overthrows him and incomplete, and there's a 3-and-out. They're 0 of 5 on third down tonight, John.
That's what defensive coordinator Perry Fuel told us, guys. We got to stop these guys on third down, and we're going to change the looks. We're going to walk around. We're going to play odd fronts, even fronts. We're going to blitz, and we're going to turn O.C. Umenyiora loose. And he's been in the face of the quarterback most of the night. But the Cowboys are 0 for 5 on third down, and the Giants are going to get good field position here.
Pat McBriar's kick only 42 yards. Reynard took it on the run. And Scott Chandler came down, had a hand on him, a couple of yards lost in the return. But OC and the Giants defense taking care of business so far. A great job hosting Super Bowl 45. There were high hopes that their team would be in it. At 1 and 4, it looks bleak, and with Romo injured, and who knows how long he'll be out. Not promising. Ahmad Bradshaw starts the Giants' second half with a 5-yard first down run.
And Eli got off to a horrible start. 2 interceptions early in the ball game, and he was wild high. But boy, did he recover. This is why he's a great quarterback. You forget the negative plays, and you play the play that you control. And that's what Eli did. Coming back after 2 interceptions with 3 touchdown passes. And what I thought, he was terrific in the pre-snap phase, identifying the coverage and the pressure and getting the ball out quickly.
Bradshaw past the initial penetration. Couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Igor Olshansky able to be credited for the tackle.
Eli Manning, that's what you get. You get a guy that's often criticized by people for whatever reasons, but he's a world champion quarterback. He's throwing for over 65% this season. He has an arsenal of young receivers. He knows exactly what he's doing. He has tremendous pride in this New York Giant playbook, and he will not waste plays. He's going to get up there and survey the defense and keep the Giants in optimum situations. Here he goes again.
Third and 4. DeMarcus Ware off the edge, just missed the ball. And the pass is caught by Ramses Barden downfield for a first down. Ware's patented move to force fumble just couldn't get it to Manning as he was throwing.
And the Giants just come after you with waves of wide receivers. Now it's Ramses Barden. But Eli at the line of scrimmage, it's always about working. identifying the protection schemes. Now he's going to take a shot down the field, so protection becomes paramount. Now you see him bringing in the wide receiver a little motion. Look at the focus. The minute he caught the ball, look at the eyes locate downfield where he wanted to go with football. Incredible focus by Eli Manning.
Barton's other catches against Houston. Now he's got one against Dallas, and Bradshaw has a 1.5 yards.
And this Dallas Cowboy defense came in here as one of the top 5 units in football. They've given up over 300 yards in the third quarter's just started. This is a critical gut check for the Cowboy defense. It's a veteran-laden team, and they have got to carry the torch right now with their starting quarterback on the sideline. There goes Ratliff back into the lineup.
This is when you find out about your football team. You're under duress right now. This defense has to start making some plays.
Manningham got a good block to release him down the sideline, and a great cut inside for a touchdown. Oh, wow.
And Chris Snead, Pro Bowl right guard, delivered a lights-out block. And there's my friend Mario Manningham of JetBlue. But Chris Snead makes a Pro Bowl play. Watch the right guard come out, number 76, and lay it down. Wow.
Brady James. That's who you got.
Once again, outstanding design by Kevin Gilbride. A little motion by Manningham to soften the corner so you get the quick pass out to Manningham. And now that offensive line shows their athleticism on those kick-out blocks.
Tynes hits the extra point for the 4th time in Eli's career. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes. 2 to Nix, 1 to Smith, 1 to Manningham with a great move to the end zone. Big Blue on top by 11. Tranquil outside of Cowboy Stadium. Quiet and tense inside. Their team's in trouble. 1-4 and down 11. They're a veteran bunch and have not responded on defense. And the Giants veteran bunch. Guys have been together, understand the little things, the communication with a quarterback and a center who can get everybody in line right away. I'm going to show you here how a veteran team works together for a touchdown in a second. A lot of moving parts going in the right way. Akwasi Owusu-Ansah won't take it back. Dallas ball at the 20. Show and tell, Coach.
Well, once again, Eli Manning gets out early. He's going to bring Manningham across in motion. He's going to see the defense unfold. He's going to see the man-to-man coverage. He's going to know I have a play up here one-on-one on a quick screen to Mario Manningham. But he uses a lot of this pre-snap as an opportunity to get him a look at the defense. But how about those blocks by Kevin Boss and Chris Snead? Oh, gee. Look at Eli Manning. He knows exactly where to go with the football. Great execution by that New York Giant offensive football team. Look at those guys.
The O-line's been together a long time, as you mentioned earlier, the group that won the Super Bowl. Down 11. The backup quarterback, Kitna to Felix Jones. Eluded the tackle by Boley and back to the line of scrimmage.
Cowboys better snap out of this offensively. They've been very conservative since Kitna's come in the game. Screens, draws, and that's been about it for John Kitna.
You see Jason Garrett there. He is backed up as a quarterback with both the Cowboys and the Giants, familiar with both sides of this rivalry. And the last thing I asked Jason before he left the Cowboys facility Saturday is, hey, John Kitna hasn't played in 2 years. What do you do if you ever have to go to him? And he said, I use my experience as a backup quarterback of how I try to approach it with John. Second and 10. Felix Jones with a carry for a gain of less than 2 yards. And he said, and you talk about this all the time, fans are frustrated. You rep your starting quarterback so often now, especially when you're going to face a good defense, so your backup doesn't get a lot of reps. He said, I can't go with my game plan. I've got to go with what Kitna is comfortable doing, what he's done over the years. Because when I was the backup and I got thrown in, when I tried to run the game plan, it was hard. When they gave me what I was comfortable with, it was a little bit easier. You can see even on that play, that's a Romo play. Show the pass and the draw. It didn't look anything like it looks when Tony fakes it and hands it off.
Well, they better pass protect right here because the Giants are going to come after him.
Hitting the throws, not even close to Des Bryant.
I've been here before, Mike. When you get an injury to your quarterback, it's tough. You can say what you want. You can do what your backup quarterback is comfortable with, but the problem is that's not necessarily what the play caller and the offensive football team are comfortable with. Right now, the Cowboys have made no signs of even making first down in the last 3 possessions.
Well, John, the quarterback's not hurt on defense. They can't stop the Giants right now.
Plus 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Get a lot of them tonight.
There we go, Matty!
That kick is 62 yards by McBride. Big kick. Reynaud returns it just shy of the 30-yard line. Well, you heard the fans booing. They're frustrated. And when the ball's not even close, so is the coach. Man, 1-5. What in the world is going on in Wade's world? Not just outside, but inside. Spectacular art to go with the architecture of Cowboys Stadium. That's coming here. Artwork by Franz Ackerman. Line of play. Another bit of artwork on the interior of the stadium. Matthew Ritchie's the artist on that. 2 Minds. Very unique pattern that helps decorate the concourse. Terry Haggerty did that. And Starfield. Teresita Fernandez creation. Just some of the inside work inside this stadium. Jerry Jones is so proud of Cowboys Stadium, which opened last year against the Giants to a record 105,000 tickets distributed, a regular season record. And his son, Steven, who's the chief operating officer, Jerry Jr., who's the executive VP of chief sales and marketing, and Charlotte Anderson, especially Charlotte, has had a lot of work involved with the way this stadium looks beyond the playing field. It really is the finest sporting facility that I've ever been in. It really is. It's one of a kind.
It's spectacular, to say the least.
Host the Super Bowl here, of course, in February. Akeem Nicks stopped by Terrence Newman. Well done there as JetBlue is held on the launching pad for a brief moment.
Well, that's kind of like JetBlue Airlines. I told you about these guys in the preseason. Take a look at Akeem Nicks. You want to fly? Throw it to him. This guy's going to be something. And then there's Steve Smith, last year Pro Bowl receiver, off to another great start. And then there's my friend Mario Manningham out of Michigan, one of the better yard after the catch young wideouts in the game. JetBlue Airlines. They can throw the ball and live in the air here if they need to.
Well, you're working for an endorsement tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, not really. Maybe they'll get you out of here. 3rd and 5. See if Dallas can make a play on defense. Pressure is picked up by Bradshaw. And releasing his Nicks. Holds it like a Nerf ball in that big hand. Size 4XL gloves. Huge hands. First down, Akeem Nicks.
Boy, these are hard formations, Mike, to play man-to-man coverage against. Good call by Kevin Gilbride. Tight slot formation here, tight slot formation here, and a lot of crossing routes. Natural pick play right here. And off Akeem Nicks goes. Watch the stiff arm. I just wish Nicks would take better care of the ball. He carries it like a loaf of bread, but this is an uncontested, easy 3rd down conversion.
And the Giants' offensive line once again giving Eli plenty of time.
Manning is at 17 of his last 20. 18 of his last 21. Nicks with the grab over at the 40-yard line. Talk about those gloves. When he was playing at North Carolina in his college days, they had to special order the gloves, size 4XL. And it's one of the reasons he can walk around holding the football jaws the way he ran it on that first down before.
Yeah, John gets nervous about that trivial stuff like that. Only kid, that is important. But, man, this guy.
I'll tell you, Jaws, they've run about 5-yard hitches now, that isolation hitch.
And you know what's coming.
You know the hitch and go's
That's
coming
correct.
pretty quick.
Play action. Spencer non-factor on the play. Manning complete to Steve Smith. They are carving up the Cowboys. Flag is down, though. Back on the O-line.
Number 67. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Kareem McKenzie gets called for the hold.
Where is DeMarcus Ware? Anthony Spencer? Jay Ratliff? Eli Manning has all kinds of time to survey the field and find open receivers.
That time Eli did an excellent job stepping up in the pocket. Cowboys brought both outside linebackers. Eli felt the rush. They just caught McKenzie with a hold.
Well, you can almost see the frustration in the Dallas Cowboys huddle. What's going on? They're big-time players. It's time to show up.
Gerald Sensabaugh is on the sideline. He's putting a contact lens back in, so the starting safety is out for the moment. Barry Church, the rookie out of Toledo, is in his stead. Eli Akeem Nicks to the 30-yard line. Another Giant first down.
Boy, Eli Manning is on fire. They threw the quick screen to Bradshaw earlier. This time they're going to fake the quick screen to Bradshaw and throw the corner route in behind him. And Eli Manning is on fire right now. They are torching this Dallas Cowboys secondary.
The Cowboys have no answer right now. Breakdowns in coverage and no pressure on Eli Manning. This is like 7-on-7 right now, those drills where there are no offensive or defensive linemen on the field.
Eli 7 for 7 in the quarter. He'll beat you up with the pass. He'll batter you with Brandon Jacobs.
Oh, boy.
To the house. Touchdown, Giants.
Well, you just got to really wonder where DeMarcus Ware is. A lot of different Cowboys not even on the field for that play. And you forget Brandon Jacobs is as fresh as he's ever been near Halloween. And they are running up and down the field. Watch Brandon Jacobs just on a counter play, bounce it to the outside, and it's uncontested. And Alan Ball, the safety, that was a business decision there, Jaws.
Yeah, no question about it. You know, Rich Siebert got out on the edge, sealed that edge, and once Jacobs got to the outside, no one wanted to tackle him.
On the last 5 possessions, the Giants have 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal. The Cowboys are being embarrassed now. 38-20 with a division-leading G-Men. What domination here. The Cowboys have run 28 plays for 78 yards in this game. The Giants were down 10-0 about 6 minutes in, and things looked dire. The Giants were turning the ball over. They gave up a punt return. But their offense has dominated Dallas. You know the Cowboys struggle without Romo. That's understandable, but this one's different. Okwasi Owusu-Ansah beats Chase Blackburn at the 15-yard line. And Jason Pierre-Paul, the Giants' first-round pick, big old defensive end flying down there on special teams.
That's the biggest special teams player I've ever seen.
Gosh.
That's 6'6", 290 pounds, Jaws, running down the field ahead of all these DBs.
What an athlete. You know, we saw him earlier this year out of training camp, and wow, what a player, what an athlete. He's going to be a terrific player once he gets it.
Yeah, trying to figure it out. Very little football experience. He's made a good impact. Time out here in Dallas. See if the Cowboys can find something. First division game for the Giants. They're fixing to go 5-2, barring a big collapse here. Dallas, the other end, could be going 1-5 if they don't have a massive turnaround. Backup quarterback in, down 18, a third of the game left. John Kitna through the hands of Dez Bryant, and incomplete. Susie Colbert.
And Mike, to add to the injury woes for the Cowboys, we know that left guard Kyle Kozer out tonight. His backup, Montre Holland, is now out as well with a groin strain.
And that brings Phil Costa in, Suze. He's a rookie free agent out of Maryland. Played mostly guard at Maryland. Checked him out at center prior to the season. 67, Phil Costa. Felix Jones, a couple of yards. O.C. Umenyiora on the tackle.
No, they've gone nowhere on third down, this Cowboy offense. Take a look at this. Nowhere to throw, no time to throw, and an easy sack. And Perry Fuel, the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants, has been in John Kitna's face. He's been in Tony Romo's face. And these third down ops have not even had a chance. 0 for 6, and right now they're looking at another third down and long. And the New York Giants are in a rover walk-around package with Pierre-Paul. Here comes another blitz up the middle.
Kitna's pass is caught by Miles Austin. He's going to be shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down. You guys remember the Chicago Sunday night game? The Giants held them 0 for 13. Now we're 0 for 7, Dallas.
That guy right there, Perry Fuel, Ron, he told us specifically he is going to mix it up on every third down. He's done that with a walk-around rover package, a 4-down look, a 3-down look, zone pressures, man pressures. I don't think the Cowboys have seen the same thing twice.
It's because they're getting those third and long, John. It plays right into the hands of this defense, which does give you all those different looks.
3 and outs in the half for the Cowboys, and they will take over. Giants will at the 19. Reminds me about Saturday afternoon. I mean, so many great games have been unfolded in this hard-to-figure college football season. Got two quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins from Michigan State, Blaine Gabbert from Missouri. Their teams all of a sudden have a chance to be undefeated all the way through good conferences. Sparty's toughest game left is Iowa. Missouri takes on Nebraska. That's your college football. One of those games will be on your ABC station locally. The other one will be on ESPN. So that game, wherever you are, you can watch. Sparty's and the Tigers surprising people. A great scene it was in Columbia. College game day. Record crowd on Saturday. 18,000 on campus. And then Missouri beat #1 Oklahoma. Former Ole Miss quarterback who followed his dad to Ole Miss, Eli Manning, gives to Ahmad Bradshaw, who loses 3 yards.
As a rundown blitz, you see Brady James. He came off the backside, rundown call by Wade Phillips, trying to get this New York Giants offense off the field quickly. That's the only chance the Cowboys have here, is to get a sudden change, a turnover, and they have to use some kind of blitzing to get pressure on Eli Manning.
Yeah, go ahead and blitz him. You're going to get those isolation routes on the outside. He's been killing them all day. He's inviting the blitz.
Giants have turned it over 3 times early in the game. Manning to Steve Smith. 4 Cowboys rally to the ball. Limit Smith's gain to about 3 yards. John, you were bringing it up earlier, Jaws. We talked about Eli Manning and underappreciated, perhaps because his numbers aren't as impressive in terms of overall stats as some. He's got the longevity here behind Favre. Very questionable with the ankle next week, and his brother Peyton for consecutive starts. But he's one of 6 guys who has won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl against an undefeated team with a great drive. They got Brady, Roethlisberger, Favre, Breeze, and the 2 Mannings. Those are the only 6 guys active who have gone to the ultimate stage and done it and won it. And this guy should be appreciated for all he does for this team. 3rd and 9. The line gives him time. The pass incomplete for Nix. Terrence Newman on the coverage. It'll be 4th down and a rare Giant 3 and out.
You know, one thing about Eli, he doesn't care about all those stats. At the end of the day, you're going to be judged on, you know, not touchdown passes and all those things. You're going to be judged on getting your team in the end zone. You're going to be judged on winning. Eli Manning has always been able to do that. That's all that matters to him. Can we win? Do we win? It's a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP.
Des Bryant's 93-yard punt return is 6 more yards than the Cowboys have as an offense tonight. And he couldn't get that one as Dodge did a great job of kicking it deep and to the sideline. And the first guy over to him is Tom Coughlin, the coach who has yelled at him all year to tell you he's the 3rd guy over. Tell the rookie, good job, well done.
You know what I like about Eli Manning, and a lot of people don't see this, he might be one of the best coaches in the league. As soon as he and Hakeem Nicks aren't on the same page, he goes right over to his young receiver and he makes the correction. But he has spent countless hours with these young guys on his own time, and he's helped their development as much as anything. And you can't find guys like this. The work ethic, the behind-the-scenes hard work that has really made him a great quarterback.
And all the time he spent with his center, Sean O'Hara, getting on the same page as far as making all those calls. That battery has to work together.
Susie reports from the sideline. Doug Free had a couple of trainers working on his thumb through that entire last Giants series. Kitna's pass incomplete. The fans are booing as Dallas's offense has been unimaginative and stalled without their quarterback. John, how much does a backup quarterback get in terms of practice? How much would Romo have let Kitna take snaps with the #1 offense this week?
Well, I've talked to a lot of coaches that have quarterbacks that are Iron Men, and these backups don't get any reps. They really don't, because Romo never misses a game. Now, if you're one of these teams that has a struggling starter, sometimes you give the backup more work because you expect them to play. I'll bet John Kitna's had little to no work in a long time.
Underneath pass from Felix Jones. Going to be 4 yards shy of the first down. Jaws, how tough does that become on a guy like Kitna? Not only have you not played in 2 years with a marker down, but you don't get to do it with the number ones.
Yeah,
Holding, number 70. Offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Literally impossible, Mike. You know, I played in situations where I was the backup quarterback. You do not get reps. All of a sudden, you got to throw the cape off and go in the game. It's hard to do that. The reps you got were after practice. You don't get the same energy, the same emotion when you're working after practice. So it is very, very difficult to come in a situation like this when you're not getting the practice reps.
You mean at the end of your career in Miami, Marino didn't give you a lot of reps?
No. Get out of here, Jaws. I got these all.
Second and 20, throw to Jason Witten is complete to the 25-yard line. So they have the penalty yardage back here with $1:30 to go in the third.
I go back to this Cowboy offensive line. You just mentioned Holland was hurt at left guard. Remember, Colombo, the right tackle, was hurt to start the season. The right guard, Leonard Davis, was benched. He struggled against the Titans. The left guard, Kozer, was hurt coming in here tonight. They let Flozell Adams go at left tackle. They brought in Doug Free. This is not the same Cowboy offensive line of a year ago, that's for sure.
It's that third and long situation.
Oshie off the edge. Couldn't get to Kitna, but Boley does. Oshie went for that patented strip move and almost got there.
Yeah, Oshie, I mean, he could come off the edge. He's almost impossible when he gets out in that wide technique. He fakes the inside move. Watch him, he gets to Kitna. He didn't go over the sack. He goes for the football, tried to swipe it away and create that turnover. That's his patented move right there, creating the fumble.
He has 7 forced fumbles this year of his 8 sacks. McBriar's 4th punt of the quarter. Every Cowboy possession has ended in a punt. Ramses Barton might have gotten a piece of that. He get very, very close. He at least affected how it was hit by McBriar, if anything else. Didn't really get to it. Down to 17. Well, the Giants are taking out quarterbacks. Back in week 1, the opener at the New Meadowlands, Matt Moore taken out and down by Kiwanuka. In week 4, Jake Cutler. They knocked him out. They knocked the number 2 out as well in that game. Got to Caleb Haney, the 3rd. Sean Hill broke his left forearm as he came down awkwardly with Justin Tuck tackling him. Brought Drew Stanton in the game for Detroit. And then tonight, Romo with the fractured left clavicle. And no word yet how long he'll be out. Wade Phillips will be asked at the press conference, and we'll hear what will happen there. But the Giants have made it a habit. They get to the quarterback, they knock him down, they knock him out.
And they're legal hits. Been watching that very carefully. They are legal hits. It's just a furious pass rush, and it's 7 or 8 different guys. And a couple stars.
And most of them, John, as you see, come against these spread formations. I think offensive teams are going to have to change their philosophical approach and start thinking protection first, not be in a rush to get 5 receivers out.
Oh, getting to another one here. John Kitna had his nose bloodied on that last series. He's over there on the Dallas sideline. Dallas does have 3 quarterbacks dressed. Stephen McGee, the second-year player out of Texas A&M, drafted last year in the 4th round.
He's hoping he doesn't have to see this pass rush. I guarantee you. He's saying, please.
Smiling in blue, bumming in Dallas. 38-20 G-Men after 3. Quarter number 4 here at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington with John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Culver on the sideline. Mike Tirico, 38-20. The Giants a quarter away from going to 5-2, winning a 4th consecutive game. Trying to make it 5 of the last 6 over Dallas. Giants sweeping the series against the Cowboys last year. 2nd and 9. Manning's throw to Steve Smith is caught at the 32-yard line. Alan Ball with the hit.
Yeah, one thing about Eli, the guy's just such a professional. He's looking right. He's looking right. You'll see him set up here. He knows he's what he got backside. Little dig route from Steve Smith. That's just outstanding eye manipulation. Looks off to the right because he knows he's going to come back left.
Yeah, but where's the pass rush? I mean, where's the juice on this Cowboy defense? They've given up 425 yards. They have enough good players to generate some heat.
Bradshaw from the 32. Going to gain about 2 yards. Both Hakeem Nicks and Steve Smith have 9 carries for over 100-yard catches for over 100 yards in this game. So you have that JetBlue impact tonight. Their big catches and receptions on the night. And a couple more for Steve. No joking, guys. We like to keep an eye on Twitter since we're so technologically sound here in the booth. Not making this up, JetBlue Airlines has apparently its own Twitter page. They have tweeted, quote, "You can tell Jaws and Gruden we had the name first." So you have entire companies hanging on your every word every Monday night. Powerful people you both are. True stories. Don't make this up. Second and 8. There's Ware off the edge. Got a strip. Got the ball in the air. Ratliff couldn't squeeze it. And who gets it at the bottom of the pile? Brooking in there for Dallas. DeMarcus Ware off the edge. Forced the fumble. And they're digging for it.
Finally, some pressure generated by DeMarcus Ware.
Giant ball. Dave Deal beat Brooking at the bottom of the pile.
That's what I'm talking about. DeMarcus Ware, you called it in the pregame. You think he's one of the best players, if not the best defensive player in the league. He just beats Deal clean off the edge, times the strip perfectly.
Well, do not single block him. He's one of those guys, you know, David Deal's done a really good job all night tonight, but sooner or later, you give that guy that many opportunities one-on-one, he's going to beat you.
Giants have 4 receivers on the game. Young Ramses Barden is in the slot at the bottom of the screen.
Manning threw it to Bradshaw, and he's ruled a catch. Bradshaw's going to be brought down at the 27. Giants will be stopped short of the first down. Anthony Spencer over there on the tackle. And, you know, the way the Cowboys night has gone, Cowboy fans are thinking, what, how do we not get called there for a blow to the head on that slat down by Ware? But that same token, Ratliff had the ball bounce and almost caught it.
You almost have to consider going for the block against this young punter, but they've got a double return set up. Doesn't look like it.
Des Bryant back there.
Well, these are a big play opportunity, I think. Des Bryant's already taken one back.
He brought a lot of heat.
Kick it out of bounds.
Yep. Flag down, back by the kicker. As the pressure was coming up the middle.
During the kick, holding number 47 of the kicking team. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st and 10.
Talked about Eli getting a shot to the head. Ware got the ball, but the Cowboys didn't get the turnover.
Corona, who invites you to find your beach. Nissan, innovation today, innovation tomorrow, innovation for all. The Capital One Venture Card, what's in your wallet? And ESPNShop.com, a new store for all your sport league needs.
How about the weekend here next week? The Cowboys, of course, a game Monday, game Sunday against Jacksonville in here, and then just down the road, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the Rangers in games 3, 4, and if necessary, 5 of the World Series against the San Francisco Giants. You can hear every game of the World Series, by the way, on ESPN Radio. Pittman throws to Witten. 10-yard first down. It's Giant territory again at the 48-yard line. And a flag on the back end.
Well, you had a big pile up, and it looks like Garrod was chipping at the pile. I don't want to be presumptuous, but it's kind of what it looked like.
Well, these two teams can't stand each other. They made that perfectly honest.
Let's go. Back up. Let's go. Back up.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Dallas, number 65. The result of the play was a first down. 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10, Dallas.
Let's take a look at it. They're holding the tight end up. They're getting 5 Giants on the tackle, and Garrod makes a hustle play. You know, that bothered me a lot. I always coached our linemen to rush to the pile and peel some of these defenders off the pile, Ron. They're holding your tight end up. They're holding your receivers up, stripping the ball and gang tackling. And you have a right as an offensive player to play through the whistle.
Did you say to the whistle or through the whistle?
Sometimes you don't hear.
All right.
Cowboys had their first down of the half. They came -4 yards. They go back to Witten, who gets 9. You have the gain, then the penalty.
This is what John Kitna needs to do. He's going to go into no huddle, speed this game up, try to reduce some of the things the Giants can do, but watch the New York Giant defense communicate. They do a nice job applying pressure even in a 2-minute situation.
Human pressuring, got rid of it to Felix Jones. Gets to the first down line. He's brought down by Antrell Roll. You know what I like with the Giants? When they go with that pass rushing package, the NASCAR, the speed package, they bring in great defensive linemen. And Matthias Kiwanuka is out of the lineup for them for a while with his disc injury. Human rushing there.
Yeah, look how quick OC is. I mean, it's a screen set up. The screen doesn't even get set up because Kitna has to get rid of the ball so quick because Human is in his face.
Now they're going to try the other side. They're going after Colombo now.
Come down below. You got the single isolation route. There you go.
Today's Bryant on the slant in, caught by the rookie at Oklahoma State, out of Oklahoma State. Well, he went down. They thought he stayed up on his feet and didn't get a knee touching down. He's whistled at the 33-yard line. Gain of 19. To look at it.
Let's isolate Des Bryant here. He's going to run a square in, snatch the ball.
You know, on the big screen, doesn't look like he came down, guys.
Left knee might have hit.
Yeah, left knee did.
You think so? Let's see.
Let's see, right? There. Nope.
Is his elbow down, though? That's a... Elbow, the forearm's down. That would be a body part. He's down there. That's a body part. The fans here might not know the rule. Hand is allowed. Forearm is a body part. It's considered down. Miles Austin up the middle to the 16.
Little energy right now from the Cowboys. John Kitna is hustling him, moving him, getting the ball out of his hand quickly, not allowing that giant rush to get to him. They got to punch this in. Although it's a 18-point deficit, they could get a field goal here and cut it to a 2-score lead.
If you do score a touchdown, you go for 1.
Penalty. Left tackle free is
Ball
early.
start. Number 68. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, sometimes you get into the 2-minute drill and you can move the ball well between the 20s. But when you get into the 20-yard line red zone region, sometimes you don't have a lot of plays that you can access in the 2-minute drill. This is going to be a good break for John Kitna. He can huddle. He can get a play that he likes at this part of the field.
Human got a great start off the edge behind Roy Williams, who has been notorious for his on-target drops. Passes that are on target he should catch, has been among the league leaders, or worst, if you will, in that category over the last 3 years.
Well, this was an errant throw. You can see this ball, you know, it would have been a great catch. But when you got to slow down, I don't know if I'd call that on target.
Witten out of bounds near the 6-yard line. Yeah, Roy has not dropped the ball this year. When you talk about passes and holding on to the ball, he's had a terrific year.
There's a
with
lot
5
of time
touchdowns
left here, Mike. Dallas can get a score here. It's interesting watching the communication between Jason Garrett and John Kitna in this part of the field.
From the 6, Giants light them up. Those are the timing throws that are so much more difficult with a guy who has not played or practiced with these ones as much.
Well, the problem is, as a quarterback on those quick timing throws, you need that quick definition. Kitna had pressure in his face. Des Bryant did not give him that quick definition. You throw it away, live to fight another day. You need quarterback-friendly routes in this area.
Slant, Williams, incomplete. Looking for Roy, Corey Webster with the coverage. Well, he's played well, hasn't he, this year?
Yeah, that's the patented Roy Williams route, this quick slant. But Webster has been terrific. You know, in preparation for this game, you study all the tape. This guy has been outstanding. Teams have targeted him coming into this game 25 times. Only 9 completions against Corey Webster. He's been playing great.
3rd and goal. Kitna hit as he throws for Williams. Incomplete. Kitna got laid out. Michael Boley, who's already knocked out 1 quarterback, took a run at a second one.
You have to take the field goal.
Yeah, kick the field goal.
What do you think of the field goal? They're not.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Well, you can feel this at home, Ron. Ooh, you get hit by Kenny Phillips and Michael Boley, one from the left and one from the right.
You got to kick the field goal here. You have to. It's an 18.3 score game. You take your 3, cut it to a 2-score game.
Mathematically keep yourself alive in the game.
Right.
Kitna, incomplete. The Giants will take over. I know you're down there. You don't think you're going to get down there, but
Mike, you take your 3
common
points.
sense, it does not.
You take your 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't at all. 38-20. Giants on top by 18. They'll take over with 8:15 remaining here in the 4th quarter. 18-point lead for the Giants. 38-20 with 8:15 remaining.
Those are not good looks.
Nope, they don't need captions. They are wondering what in the wide world's gone on. Ahmad Bradshaw loses a yard. Let's go back to that 4th down play.
Well, you say you should have kicked the field. I say go for it. You got man-to-man with Miles Austin, man-to-man here with Roy Williams, man-to-man here. It's man-to-man coverage. You have all these receivers. It's a no-back blitz. Get it out of your hand and beat somebody. But Miles Austin didn't beat anybody. Roy Williams didn't beat anybody. I don't know what the route was.
But, John, that's your relevant point, going for it. The fact is you're still 3 scores behind.
Yeah, you're stopping the Giants so well tonight.
Well, you got to give yourself a percentage chance.
I agree with you.
Just stop him last drive. Bradshaw trying to get on the outside. Ahmad just shy of the 20-yard line.
How about this guy, Ahmad Bradshaw? They told us as a rookie out of Marshall, this kid is not drafted. He shows up. He gets in the huddle with all these veterans. You see Soybert right there? Snee, he gets in there, and they call a running play, and he says, yo, block for me. I'm taking this to the house. Right. And they said, shut up, rookie. And you know what he did, Jaws? He took it 71 yards against the Bills. This guy is a dynamic personality. He's 5'7". He leads the NFC in rushing. I give this guy a lot of credit. Overcome a tough ankle injury last year, played through it. He's a real deal.
Almost at 100 yards tonight.
He had 133 against the Lions last week. He's sitting around 92 right now with a no game there. Well, if the Giants win this game, they'll go to 5-2. And this is what is so great. Why is the NFL so popular? Who in the world figured, all right, Atlanta, they could be a division winner this year. Some people thought in this booth, Jaws and I.
Yep.
The Giants will move to 5-2. The Buccaneers and the Seahawks are the other two-loss teams. Nobody in the world would have thought that. But you see all those 3-loss teams, and that's why if Dallas would have won tonight, they would have been within a game of a lot of good teams here in this hard-to-forecast NFC through the first 7 weeks. But instead, they have a lead. Romo fractures his left non-throwing clavicle. We'll wait to hear how long he's going to be out. And now, who knows what happens here. Pass caught by Kevin Boss to the 44-yard line. The first down for Eli and the Giants. Gain of 24. So what do you make? Who's the best team in the NFC?
These guys right now. I mean, yeah. I mean,
at this hour.
Right now, they're the best team. I mean, they came down for a 10-0 deficit, 20-7, and you look at their talent level. I'm leaning over to John a little bit. That was a sleeper. I got to go to that dark side every once in a while.
You guys are unbelievable. Yeah. It's not even Halloween yet. When we got that Lombardi Trophy, it was the end of January. Right. I don't remember winning a division championship until the end of December.
Well, Mike has
a ton of football left. These guys right here in the Jets. How about that for a Super Bowl in this stadium?
That run, guys, does two things. It puts Ahmad Bradshaw over 100 yards for the night and makes him the leading rusher in the National Football League through Week 7 with that carry.
And look at Brandon Jacobs down on the sideline. It's big brother and little brother. There's no animosity between these two guys. One cheers for the other. But take a look at Bradshaw on this draw play. Bounce it to the outside. That's a bad play by Spencer, number 93. You have to set the edge. You can't let Ahmad Bradshaw bounce the ball out on the perimeter or he'll gash you.
Well, give some love to Bear Pascal. Pretty good block, hooking him to get to the edge.
Fumble the football. Scoop by DeMarcus Ware of the Cowboys, who is ruled down by contact and blown dead at the 45, but it would be Dallas ball on the fumble, which was the problem for Bradshaw at the start of this season. He fumbled and lost 3 all in the first 4 games of the season. So the Giants, a 4th turnover in the night. And the Cowboys stop them and they have an opportunity to score again. Tonight's aerial coverage here at Arlington is brought to you by Autotrader.com. Halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth on I-30. The fans have headed to I-30 trying to get on home in the Metroplex. They didn't see Ahmad Bradshaw's bad mistake there. A fumble up 18. Gives Dallas the ball at the plus 45. Here's Kitna. Over the middle, broken up by Deion Grant. And time for a Sports Center right now with Trey Wingo.
Michael, thank you. Tony Romo's streak of 29 straight regular season starts looks like it's coming to a close. Brett Favre's may end at 291. The Viking QB has 2 fractures in his left ankle. Not sure if he'll be able to go Sunday when they take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, Jets cornerback Darrelle Revis says his pulled left hammy is 100% healthy. Coming off the bye, he will be there when they host Green Bay. And I would have kicked the field goal, Mike.
Thank you. Glad you're with
Thanks.
us, Trey.
Yeah.
Gruden appreciates it as well. Kitna hit from behind. That ball's out. Tuck and Cofield knock it free. And the ball's recovered by Justin Tuck and the Giants. Credit to Barry Cofield out of Northwestern for getting there. And the Golden Domer, Tuck with the recovery.
On SportsCenter after the game, the GMC postgame report, highlights and analysis of this game, plus the latest in the injury to Tony Romo and Brett Favre. We'll have all the latest. Plus, Mike, I would have gone for the special 22-point touchdown. That special long one.
See? Yeah. Everybody's listening. JetBlue, Stu.
I agree with Stu. Let's go over the 22-point play.
Bradshaw fumbled, so Brandon Jacobs is back in the game at the running back for the Giants. It's the one bad thing tonight for Tom Coughlin. His quarterback threw 2 picks. Each of his running backs has fumbled. But his Giants have gotten a good passing game from Eli Manning. His Dallas defense gave up 300 yards passing to a quarterback for the first time since Eli did it when this building opened in the regular season. The opening game of 2009. Eli had over 300 on him.
Well, the Giants are doing it with all 3 phases.
Yep.
Their offensive line intact again with the return of O'Hara. All their receivers, their running game. And this defense looks menacing. How's that for 3 syllables?
Very good, John. You know, coming into this game, they were only giving up 4.3 yards per play. That was the best in the NFL, 4.3 per play. And they're better than that tonight. This Giants defense is outstanding.
What exactly, and Cliff Lee's done a great job for the Rangers, what exactly was Igor Olshansky doing? Doing a dance coming out of the pile on the tackle there as the timeout's taken with 3:31 to go. Peace. Timeout Dallas.
Yeah, well, Eli Manning has been very sharp. Here's his touchdown passes. You know, he's going to see the pressure right here. He knows it's coming. Here, he's got to get rid of the football. Outstanding anticipation. And this one here, I love the motion. Great play design to get the soft corner to Manningham. Get the ball in the perimeter. Look at the kick-out blocks from Boss and Snee. And look at the move inside by Manningham. Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, has had an outstanding game tonight of breaking down the Cowboy defense, and Eli has found the holes and exploited them.
Gotta hurry.
Confusion there, and Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, will come over and talk to Eli out of this timeout. You know, it's great to be a New York sports hero and be Mr. October. It's Reggie Jackson's moniker, obviously, from the Yankee days, but October, you don't win championships, but at least you lay foundations to put yourself in position for the second half of the season. And under Eli Manning's leadership and this entire veteran group, but it gets pinned on the quarterback, how about moving to 20-4 with a win here tonight in the month of October?
That's impressive. But don't forget, last year, this team was decimated by injuries. They lost Antonio Pierce. They lost a lot of players last season due to injury, on defense in particular. And they're healthy right now for the most part, Ron, and they're talented and very, very experienced.
Play action on 3rd and 5. Manning throws. He throws another interception. It's Keith Brookings with the pick. And Jacobs brings him down at the 15-yard line. So Keith Brookings comes up with a play. That's his 3rd interception from Manning tonight.
I'm just shocked that Eli took a chance like this. This is the only chance Dallas has. The Giants have turned the ball over on their last 3 possessions. But watch Eli right here. He's just going to come out. He's going to reverse pivot. He's going to throw the ball into the flat. The Bear pass go under duress. Bad decision, and Kevin Gilbride told us that yesterday. Just give up on a bad play, throw it in the dirt, move on. I'm shocked Eli gave the Cowboys this kind of an opportunity.
So for Keith Brookings, a rare interception. It's his first interception since December 24th, Christmas Eve of 05 in a game in Tampa.
Tampa.
Dallas takes over 1st and 10 at the 15.
I remember that.
And it goes to Des Bryant, does a great job with the stiff arm, and there's a Cowboy touchdown.
Wow, if they had that 3 points, this thing would be a 1-score game.
Sure would.
And the Giants have been very careless. And I'm sure if you look at Tom Coughlin, you're going to see a very upset man.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Dallas is lining up to go for 2 here. That 2 is a mistake. That's a mistake. They're doing the wrong thing. Here's the touchdown again with Des Bryant.
This guy's magnificent after the catch. That's a stiff arm.
Des Bryant finds the end zone for the 2nd time. His 2nd is a reception on the season. He had the punt return earlier. Again, if you miss here, then you're down 12 and you need 2 touchdowns. If you kick the extra point, you're down 11 and you need a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point. You never go for the 2 until you absolutely need to.
Don't go for 2 until you have to. We say it every week.
And Kitna will throw for Roy Williams, who couldn't bring it down, but a penalty marker will come down as Terrell Thomas and Williams were in contact, and they'll shorten the distance by half.
And these New York Giants get sticky man-to-man blitz down in here in the tight red zone.
Prior to the pass, holding number 24 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Will retry.
And that time Kitna went up there. He killed it. He saw bump and run man-to-man. He wants to throw the high point fade to Roy Williams. I thought Terrell grabbed him.
Clearly a hold.
A lot of substitution here.
Okay, Dallas brought in Gronkowski, the fullback, since they're at the 1 instead of the 2. They'll go to their shorter yardage formation without their wide receivers. And coming back across is Witten for the 2, and it's a 10-point game with 3:17 to go. All right, John Kitna leads a touchdown drive. It has been a long time since he's done that, and the Giants have been very generous and taken the foot off the accelerator here with 2 turnovers past the halfway point of the 4th quarter. The whole tenor of the game changed on this play in the 2nd quarter. The rookie fullback Gronkowski does not step up to get Boley, the blitzing linebacker. Boley plants Romo to the ground. He has a fractured left clavicle. We have no word on how long he will be at. Romo tried to put himself back in the game a couple of plays later, but they stopped him, took him back for further examination. The fractured left clavicle will be the further diagnosis as we go along, and then you have a conversation about how long he'll be out. A lot of it is dependent on where the fracture is, closer to the shoulder or closer to the neck. A 10-point game here. It's 38-28. Let's see the Giants trying to prepare for a potential onside kick.
Oh, this is their hands team. And you have to practice so many situations now, Mike, when you're on the receiving end of a hands team situation because the rules are different. You can only have so many players on each side of the kicker. You're not allowed to overload. But take a look at how the Cowboys deploy. They're going to have a number of guys up here, and they'll check the numbers there. They'll have a 3-on-2 situation here, and they'll have a number situation down here. Beeler is going to automatic to the side where he feels like they have a chance. Look down here at the bottom.
Fake one way. Beeler tries to get it, but it's got to go 10 yards. He's waiting like a little baby for it to crawl to him. And there's a pile there. Did a Giant touch it before it went 10 yards, thus allowing the Cowboys to legally recover it? It has to get to the 40 before a Cowboy can recover it legally.
Well, at the 40-yard line, it looked like a Cowboy was right on it, just as it was went 10 yards.
Yeah, you hear them saying blue ball as the officials are in there, which means the Giants have it. It was Beeler, the kicker, who was hovering over the ball.
Well, it's a middle dribble. They were light to the middle. The Giants deployed for the onside kick to be to the right side. And Beeler saw the deployment of the Giants. He did a nice job of tapping the ball in there. This Beeler's an interesting athlete. One of the strongest, quickest kickers you'll ever meet. Good design. Unfortunate that they didn't get that back.
Nice job by Travis Beckham. And you said that Beeler, he set the record for kickers in that automatic weight, the 225-pound lift at the combine. I saw him down in the field. I said, well, there is the best weightlifting kicker we've seen in the NFL, and he laughed, and you could use his strength there in that situation. The Giants have turned it over the last couple of times. 3:16 to go. Bradshaw with a convoy of Giants. Snee with his third downfield block of the game. Bradshaw refusing to go down at the 16-yard line. Well, since we don't know how long Romo will be out, let's look at what the Cowboys have coming up. They have Jacksonville coming in here next week, and Jacksonville lost both of their quarterbacks when we saw them last Monday night. Then they go to Green Bay, a game Romo was dying to play in. Wisconsin guy wanted to go play at Lambeau. They have to go to the Giants here, so 3 games in a very short period of time. Then the Lions come in here, and then the quick turnaround for Thanksgiving against the Saints and the Colts to follow. And so much of it is a timeout was called on the field. So much of it's going to depend on what the medical news is on Romo in the hours and days to come.
You know, everyone's going to focus on Romo, and rightfully so. He's the quarterback of this team. But no one stepped up. No one stepped up. I'm going to blame it on John Kitna. He's not getting reps, but no one else stepped up for the team. Not the running game, not the defense. It wasn't a collapse because Romo got hurt.
They're going to give up 500 yards in this game here. They've given up 489 to this point. Duke Calhoun, the rookie out of Memphis, in there for the Giants at a receiver spot. He's blocking for Brandon Jacobs, who carries 4-3. Dallas takes its final timeout with 2:55 on the clock, John.
I agree. The Dallas Cowboys with a 20-7 lead. They had 3 critical errors in the first half. And we can sit here and bury the Cowboys, and they deserve a lot of criticism. But I want to go back to the New York Giants. They were 1-2, and I heard everybody criticizing them, how they're going to have to blow that whole thing up. They've won 4 straight football games, and really convincing fashion. They've given up 180 yards of offense. They dominated the Bears when they were 4-0 at home. They've come on the road. This is a good football team that's very experienced and clearly a power in the NFC the way I see it.
I saw John Mara, the president and CEO of the Giants, on the field before the game, and I said, well, when it was 1-2, it was the same reaction. He said, yeah, it's been the same noise, same story. Maybe it's time to change Coughlin. Maybe it's time Tom Coughlin leaves. He says, this is such a week-to-week league. It's a great reminder of the steadiness this organization has operated with for this decade, really. Jacobs the carry.
But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you have to go to DeMarcus Ware. You have to go to Jason Witten, Keith Brooking, Brady James. I mean, they've got a lot of very good players. They might have the best young receiving core in the league. They have in the New York Giants. They have Jay Ratliff. They've got a Pro Bowl corner in Newman, another Pro Bowl corner in Jenkins. I agree with you, Ron. They've got to step up as a football team and find a way to win a football game. There's no way this is a 1-5 outfit.
Well, they are 1-5, and John, you're talking about that great talent. That great talent was 1-4 coming into this game. This was their Waterloo. They had to come up with a big game. They jumped out to a quick lead, and this team just hasn't showed up after they had a 20-7 lead. So what makes you think they're going to come back next week?
I don't.
Inspired? Oh, okay.
I didn't say I did. You said I better.
You're talking about
they got 11 games left.
You're talking about all their great players. Your great players got to play like great players.
Giants took another timeout. New York has been sloppy in closing this game out here in the fourth quarter. And you guys talked about Dallas, and this is the big picture story. We opened the game with this. Cowboys falling to 1-5. This was the preseason favorite to win the NFC, falling to 1-5. Only one team, the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals, opened 1-6. And in a 14-game season, won the rest of their games 8-6, won their division, made the playoffs.
And they're 0-3 at home. And of these first 6 opponents, really the Minnesota Vikings are the only team of those 6 that was a playoff team from a year ago. Nobody expected this. They felt they were going to come out of the gate with authority. Hasn't happened.
3rd and 5. Bradshaw moving forward, got close to the first down. As we hit the 2-minute warning here in Arlington. Your song's back, John.
New attitude, New York, I'm telling you.
Do you know who sings the song? Quick.
Patti LaBelle.
Oh, nice. You can name that tune in 4 notes.
From Philadelphia.
Downtown Indianapolis next Monday night. We look forward to that. 8:30 Eastern, Monday Night Countdown with Chris Berman, Stuart Scott, and the studio groups in Indy and in Bristol. 7 o'clock for Countdown. Ties for a field goal. And that means the Cowboys will need 2 touchdowns now in the last 2 minutes. Minute 55 to go. So Schaub and Peyton Manning, of course, game 1. Houston Texans put so much into that game to start the season and got the win. And now Peyton without Dallas Clark. If Houston can get the sweep of Indianapolis, a far different landscape in the AFC South from what we've seen.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for Houston right now, they've got a quarterback's best friend, a running game. Arian Foster has made it a lot easier to play quarterback down in Houston. Yeah, you still have the prolific passing game, but it's nice when you could kill the clock when you're in the lead, when you can turn around and hand it to Arian Foster.
Yeah, but the Texans lost D'Amico Ryans, their star middle linebacker. They're going to move Brian Cushing in there. And Peyton Manning, no matter what anybody says, Jaws, he's a hard guy to beat twice in one season. That's going to be a great game.
Are you a big Halloween guy, John? Do you enjoy Halloween?
Last year I dressed up as the Joker.
That was in New Orleans, right?
I was in New
Jeremy
Orleans.
Shockey. Is that Halloween?
I have a plan for this Monday. I have to get it cleared with our bosses.
you have a plan?
I got to get it cleared. I got a plan for Halloween. I just have to get it cleared.
But could I guess? Would it be a sheriff?
No.
We're going to be a sheriff.
You're surprised.
Yeah.
How many people watch, right?
When I get a chance to see Peyton Manning play, everybody knows I irritate some people, I'm sure, with my enthusiasm.
Some people.
If you like football,
yeah,
go watch that cat play.
Yeah. You know,
just sit down and watch film with Peyton Manning, you get excited.
13-point game here. Des Bryant back on kickoff return. See if they got a little wrinkle here. They fake it on the reverse of Miles Austin. Bryant trying to pick up blocks on the far side. Will be brought down. Nice open field play by Bruce Johnson to bring him down to the 27-yard line.
This kid, Des Bryant, loves to play football. You know, the guys in the game, I mean, he's given incredible effort. He gets knocked down. He still sprints over the sideline, bringing some energy to this Dallas team. They haven't had a whole lot tonight.
I just think when you look at the New York Giant defense, talk about the 3 safeties. Deion Grant is an 11-year veteran. He's come in here. He's played in the dime position, covering Jason Witten a lot tonight. This is a good football player. Kenny Phillips and Antrell Roll. Phillips is back. Terrible injury last year. And Antrell Roll. These 3 safeties have solidified the New York Giants defense. They're outstanding football players.
You know what? They're well coached as well. You know, we always talk about coaches around this league, the guys, the assistant guys that don't get a whole lot of credit. Peter Junta's done a great job with this secondary. You know, he's got a lineage with the Rams when they were a Super Bowl team. And wherever he's been, it's been a very disciplined secondary when they're healthy.
But look at Deion Grant. He plays down there at linebacker depth. He's just looking for Jason Witten. He's going to tell him before the snap of the ball, hey, I got you. And every once in a while, he'll shoot from there and blitz. There he goes in coverage again.
As Kitna throws complete for Witten, who beat Grant and stays on his feet right around midfield there.
Well, that's usually what happens when I compliment a guy. He doesn't make the play. But, you know, Deion Grant, he's going up against one of the premier tight ends in the world. He's done it all night, and I credit the referee for an assist there. I told you guys to move him behind the ball.
That's the first time you've ever given the men in stripes credit.
Well, Dan Farrow is the umpire you're talking about. A question there. I talked to Dan before the game. He said got used to being back behind the play. The perspective's different and interesting, but it certainly gets a little more intense inside the last 5 or inside the 5-yard line or in the last couple of minutes. Well, the umpire moves back to that old spot.
You know, it's the rush, Mike. There's number 95 in the game for the Giants, Rocky Bernard. Chris Canty, number 99, has played well. And Cofield, number 96. All 3 of these big guys last year were hurt, Ron. They got nothing out of Canty. He was hurt. 75% health for Cofield all year. These 3 guys push up the middle and allow Tuck and Osi to do their thing on the outside. It's impressive. They have a great rotation of 8 guys.
Kitna swings it out to Felix Jones. Seeking space is Jones. And out of bounds at the 24 with a buck 18 to go. And the Cowboys down 13. And out of timeouts. Trying to get a touchdown and a chance to keep the game alive.
And, you know, we haven't even mentioned Matthias Kiwanuka, who's out with that neck injury. You talk about a rotation.
It's a bulging cervical disc. He went to California to get another medical look at it on Monday, and it became worse. Went from a herniated disc to a more serious and more concerning long-term here for the Giants. Witten with the catch. Couldn't get out of bounds. Dallas just trying to get a quick score on the board.
Quick score, you're right.
With an onside
Let's go. Get it moving. They got a minute 3 left. You score, onside kick. Crazier things have happened in this National Football League. Here comes the pressure. Going to get one-on-one.
It's Witten. Ruled incomplete on the field with 50 seconds remaining in the game. Well, guys, this was the first week with the conversation of no head-to-head hits without a further increased look at them. Perhaps more penalties being called in-game and out-of-game. For what it's worth, this weekend we had 52 points scored. It's the second highest scoring weekend in 20 years. Go back to 2 years ago, 2008, in week 12, just a shade under that. So we've had much higher scoring. Are the two related? I think that's for others to decide, but bring out the fact.
You know, Mike, I think the sampling is small, but based on what I saw yesterday, I think the defensive players have bought into this, and that's good because it is about players' safety.
Oh, wow. Sam Hurd was open in the end zone, and Kitna just couldn't hit him.
Oh. You got to hit that one.
Look, player safety at every league meeting I've ever been to is at the forefront of every conversation. And I broke my neck playing football. And I'm for player safety also. But, Mike, what are you going to tell your free safety when the game is on the line and 2 guys are coming vertical and you've got to go dislodge that ball to take your team to the playoffs? What are you going to tell that guy to do, Josh?
You got to tell him to make a play, but it was obvious watching some of the games yesterday. Even Ed Reed pulled off, I thought, when he had a good shot.
There's Bryant, first down, touchdown. That's his 3rd of the night. 2 receiving, 1 via punt return. And by messing around here and not closing the deal, it's 41-34 with 40 seconds left. Another onside kick coming after the extra point.
Well, it's just all-out blitz, and John Kitna knew exactly where to go. Off coverage, you see Webster, sharp slant by Dez Bryant. You're not going to tackle this guy after the catch. What a performance. And if I'm down on this Giants sideline, I'm really thinking about this onside kick.
Beeler for the extra point, 41-35. And sometimes you get in a game that's 38-20 and you feel like you're selling a bill of goods to the viewers that game's not over, but Dallas has had opportunities here, and now they're within 2 plays. 1, recover the kick. 2, hit a big shot down the field.
And if they would have had that field goal that they gave up on a little while back, but a short field operate on to tie it, but they're going to need a touchdown.
Well,
this is Joe DeCamillis.
There it is.
Yep.
This is interesting strategy, Ron. I mean, he's telling his guys how the Giants lined up the last time, and he's telling them what to do if they do that again. This guy's got a plan. He's got 3 ways he can go. He can middle dribble it like he did last time and let Beeler go recover his own kick, or he can kick the ball to the right or to the left. Take a look at the last one. He saw a light deployment up the middle, so he middle dribbled it, and he gave himself a chance. You saw him and Jesse Holley going after the football, and that's how close it was to getting the last one. So take a look at this deployment now. You'll see 4 Cowboys to the left, 4 Cowboys to the left. They're going to have 3 in the middle, and obviously you're going to have 4 over here. So he's going to read the deployment and kick the ball where the numbers are his advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if he middle dribbles it again.
He's got Beckham in the middle, 47 again, playing possum. Same fake. This time they bounce it, looking for the big hop. It's alive to be recovered, but the Giants get on it with Clint Sintum. As soon as that hit a Giant before it went 10 yards, it was available for the Cowboys to recover. So everything right happened there, except the deflection went the other way. And the former Giants special teams coordinator, Joe DeCamillis, almost had his old team in a very scary spot.
That was a live ball available to the Dallas Cowboys. You'll see it right there. Bang off the leg of Clint Sintum, and that ball is live. Sintum spotted that ball and went and covered it.
Well, the Giants are going to get out of here, it looks like, with a win, with over 500 yards of offense, but 5 turnovers. And it'll be interesting to see what Tom Coughlin does with this Giant football team, who has a bye this week. A lot of times they reward their players with a big win, with some time off. It'll be very interesting to see how Tom manages the bye. But the New York Giants, 4 straight victories. You got to be impressed.
Be that new attitude.
These 2 teams will reconvene on the 2nd Sunday in November up at the new Meadowlands Stadium. Eli Manning with a win over the Cowboys. The Giants have gone 2 for 2 here in the new Cowboys Stadium, but the #1 story after this one will be Wade Phillips in Dallas at 1-5, knowing only the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals have come back from 1-5, and what will happen with Tony Romo and the left fractured clavicle. For what it's worth, that Dallas touchdown there at the end took us to 52.6 points scored on average in a game this week, the highest since 1983. Highest scoring weekend in the NFL in over a quarter century happened this weekend. Now the cherry on top was the Giants 41, Dallas 35. Big Blues 5-2, and the Cowboys have lost 3 in a row. They're 1-5. Sports Center's coming up next with John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Colbert, and the best in the business, our Monday Night Football crew. Mike Tirico. Good night from Arlington. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Giants win by 6 with Eli. We'll see Peyton against the Texans next Monday night.